Welcome to Lima, Peru, on the west coast of South America. Economic epicenter of this vibrant country, 10 million strong. With its Pacific breeze and Central Park vibe, the century-old club sits right in the heart of the bustling city. This week, testing Latin America's elite amateur players. 108 from 29 countries and territories. On the line, an invitation to the Masters and berths in the U.S. Open and Open Championship, 3 of the 4 majors. Life-changing week for one. Memorable experience for so many who love this game. The Masters Tournament, in partnership with the R&A and USGA, proudly present the 2026 Latin America Amateur Championship. Pleasant afternoon in Lima. This time of year, they were all pleasant. Middle of January, early summer here. High 70s, mix of clouds and sun. Long time in the making for Lima Golf Club. They were going to host 5 years ago, but then COVID hit. Poured a lot into this effort. Mackenzie and Ebert put their imprint on it as they have 8 Open Championship golf courses. Expanded the practice areas, and now a great week for a proud club. Only 6,800 plus yards at a par 70, but a good test with healthy rough and firm greens. Rich Lerner pleased, as always, to be joined by 2-time U.S. Open champion Andy North. Steve Burkowski out on the golf course, along with Amelia Duran, who won gold in the Pan Am Games right here in Lima in 2019. And the inimitable John Sutcliffe has interviews and perspective. Jammed right in amongst the high rises, all the great restaurants, culinary capitals of the world. This is how it all started, Andy. From the home country, Rafael Clough.
Great tradition they have with the American Hammer. The local gets to hit the first tee shot. What an honor.
Here's on to shoot 75. Something he'll remember. First ever Latin American Amateur Championship here in Peru. Here's past champion from the Cayman Islands.
He was our champion in 2022.
Aaron Jarvis in the field with his brother Andrew. What a shot.
Great play. And he's going to join us this afternoon for a little bit of TV commentary.
A great personality. Played golf at SMU. Geronimo Esteve from Puerto Rico. We love his Geronimo. He'll be in the booth as well. Here's one of the pre-championship favorites from Guatemala, Gabriel Palacios.
Winner of the North-South Amateur, the Mexican Amateur. This is the lowest ranked player in the field. Off to a nice start. Birdies at 6, and now this is short. Par 3 7th, 140 yards. Really an interesting green, very deep, but only about 10 yards wide, and he puts it in there perfectly.
And 25th in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, highest rated in this field. And now, this is the best hope for the home country. Patrick Sparks plays and lives about 20 minutes away. He was runner-up in Argentina a year ago. He's polished, has plenty of game.
What an advantage having played this golf course a lot. It's a narrow golf course. You've got to drive the ball well. The greens are very difficult to putt. There's plenty of grain. He looks like he's got it under control.
North Carolina, Wilmington. Actually won a prestigious amateur event in the United States. Anderson at Wingfoot back in 2014 was his countryman. Luis Fernando Barco, I should say. The winds just whipping just a little bit. Not so much the intensity of the winds out here, but the direction. And here is the 16-year-old from Venezuela, Andres Martinez Benedetti. This, too, a good story in the early going. He's one of 12 in the field who have come out of the brand new Latin America Amateur Academy that was just held in Casa de Campo. Andy Schoenbaum from Argentina.
Yeah, what a wonderful player. He's played in, this is his 10th Latin America Amateur. He's played solid. He's only missed 1 cut over the years. T11 is his best. And now he's a working man, Rich.
works for the R&A in their efforts to grow the game. Works out of their office in Argentina with our friend Mark Laurie. So there's a lot of buzz up by the clubhouse. Here's good player Carlos Astiazaron from Mexico.
88th in the world rankings. We have more the top 100 rankings this year than we have in any year in the past. So the quality of golf is growing in this part of the world.
Astiazaron won the North and South, won the Mexican Amateur. He can really play.
You look at the situation where they're taking advantage of this short par 3 7th hole. We've seen tons of birdies here so far.
So we'll look now at the leaderboard. Schoenbaum, 34 years old, won the Argentine Amateur twice, made the match play recently at the U.S. Mid-Amateur, so he too has experience. Luca Peterman birdied the very first hole. He's the youngest player of the field, Andy. He is 13 from Costa Rica. Keep an eye on Jose Antonio Safa, outstanding player from Mexico. They continue to produce. Thomas Restrepo was one of the pre-tournament favorites as well. Just recently won the Junior Orange Bowl in Miami in a field that included Tiger's son Charlie, Matt Kuchar's son Cameron. Let's go down to Steve Burkowski. Troubles for Carlos Astiazaron.
Yeah, Rich, first stick up today. Tee shot in the penalty area right after 4 birdies in his first 8. This is third.
Take it in there low and scoot it, but it's into the green, and that's something we'll talk about quite a bit this week. These greens are beautiful putting surfaces, but there's quite a bit of green, and it's down green super fast, back into the green very slow.
You can see he looks all of 13. This is beautiful, though. Only in this sport, the same playing field. You get a 13-year-old with a 54-year-old.
Yeah, that's great. What an experience, and he's saying all the right things. He's done some interviews already this week, and he's talking about the great opportunity, and it's a dream come true. But he has got a lot of game for 13.
And you're going to see more on this youngster later. We have a beautiful feature. And I think, Andy, you and I talked about this through the years. What's been so good about this experience from our standpoint is to see youngsters grow up here. By the time he's 19, likely to be doing some great things. Here's Sparks, the 9th.
Pretty straightforward second.
I think he took care of that the way he wanted to. Mickelson tied at the lead with 4 under.
Give you a taste too what it might sound like come Sunday here in Lima. Good following for Patrick Sparks of Peru.
There's another look at it. Just lands it just barely on the green. It just releases. Perfect judge of speed. That would have not gone any more than about 6 or 8 inches by the hole. Another look, nice and clean hit. Not a lot of movement in his hands and arms there, just kind of pitching it up onto the first of the green.
Now at the 8th, here is Matteo Pulcini. Steam.
You get any kind of putts down grain, and boy, you know they're going to be fast. So you could see that happen a few times. They were overprotecting.
Back at the 9th. Astiazaron for bogey.
Yeah, trying to minimize the damage.
Well, unfortunately, 8 really good holes and 1 poor shot, and he's given a couple of shots back.
That's what we've seen so far, Andy, through this first day. Is there are some birdies out there. Keep it in the fairway. You can attack and make birdies, but if you're offline, particularly with the rough, you can pay a price. You struggle to make a bogey. And let's go back to the 8th hole, Quiroga, and let's welcome Amelia Duran.
Good afternoon, Rich. This will have some turn to it, up the hill, breaking to the right.
Go ahead and do that. Yes. Whoa. Vicente Quiroga from Bolivia. See Guatemala, Bolivia. And this is a part of the success story here in the Latin America Amateur Championship. Players now from lesser developed golf countries are starting to emerge.
When we first started this championship, it was all about Mexico, Argentina, and Chile. Now there's good players all over the continent.
Featured groups: Patrick Sparks, Eric Fortmunch has been a contender. He plays at Arkansas. He's from Paraguay. And we talked about Astiazaron. All three a chance to contend this week. And we saw Pulsini from Argentina. Quiroga just made the putt. And much more to say about the young man from Colombia who is on the rise in the game. Eric Machado has been a veteran, highly rated out of Brazil. Cancino from Chile, which has had success, and then Ruben from Guatemala. Here is Thomas Restrepo, and let's go back down to Amelia.
Well, this shot had excellent distance control from Restrepo from the rough. This will turn to the left.
Left at the end. The grain will have a big effect on how the putts break, particularly as they slow down around the hole. The Junior Orange Bowl just a week or so ago.
That is one of the big tournaments, the world of junior golf. Andy, how about the 10th? The feature group is headed there.
Well, the 10th is a beautiful par 4. You've got to drive the ball exceptionally well. A lot of the players in the field will be able to carry the bunker on the left and keep it short of the bunker on the right. That would be the perfect spot. Then from there, you're middle to short iron into a green that's elevated. If you start missing these greens left and right or long, you've got some really tough up and ins. There's quite a bit of slope on this green. The hole's cut way in the back left-hand corner of the screen. If you miss it left, good luck on getting it up and in.
Andy, you played a lot of golf in your professional days in Latin America. You won down here. What do you think of this golf course?
I think it's a wonderful test. This is sort of a typical 1920s style golf course on a little teeny piece of property. Lots of trees. There's a few water problems around, particularly the par 5s, and we saw around that 9th hole, the par 3. It's a golf course. If you can drive the ball in the fairway, get yourself in position to put the ball in the green in the right positions. You want to be careful with where the grain is in the greens. If you're hitting a second shot down into a green, down grain, it's going to be very difficult to stop. If you're playing into the grain, it's going to stop pretty quickly. So it's important to understand that when you do your practice rounds.
So the weather. Was talking to Jake Swick, who's the meteorologist on staff this week. He told me it's one of the driest world capitals and cloudiest. It might not make a lot of sense, but 95% of the rain that goes into the Amazon falls in the Andes flowing east into Brazil. So it's similar to Southern California. You can get a marine layer any time of day. Average high is 78 and the low 68 most of the year. Very little variance. A little bit of that cloud cover you can see. It's pleasant here.
Well, it's basically desert. The amount of water they get is basically desert, but it's really a beautifully done golf course, well kept up.
And Andy, the 10th tee is also the putting green.
Yeah, this is when they did the 2018 renovation and the new grassing of the golf course. They built a little teeing area on this putting green, so you know, just putt right over, tee it up, and get after it. But a great driving hole. This is a hole that you've got to put the ball in the fairway. 449 is going to play back into it. Just a little bit of breeze coming off the ocean.
That breeze is freshening just a little bit, and as you said, in and off the left for Sparks.
My, this thing is taken well right. Actually get into the 18th fairway. Yeah, it did. I hit the fairway. That's a fairway regulation.
I mentioned the speed of the wind is not a big factor, but the direction can be. That wind comes off the ocean, it hits the high rises, it turns, and then comes in from the west.
Unfortunately, just didn't time it up very well. But still has an opportunity to get the ball in the green. He's going to have to come over some trees.
Fortmunch in his 5th start in the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Burko, that really is a good golf swing. He looks like he can really play.
Yeah, certainly can, Andy, and driving the strength of his game, as we saw right there. Another fairway hit. When Eric hits fairways, he can attack coming in with the seconds.
We talked about how the driving is so important. It's important that the fairways are quite narrow. There's quite a bit of trees that line the fairways, and they've got about 3 inches of Bermuda rough. If the ball sits down, it's difficult to get the ball, have any control of it going into the greens.
Let's see how Esteban responds after the double bogey.
Doesn't seem to like it.
There could be some tree trouble. The ball sitting down in the rough. That would be difficult to get on the putting surface.
A strong contingent from Mexico. All eyes at least here at Lima Golf Club in Peru on this guy, Patrick Sparks. Back to the 9th. Quiroga.
207 yards, playing more like 190 with the downwind and wanting to hit it short of this back hole location.
This is one of the hole locations, Amelia, that you'd love to have the greens firmer, so you can land it in the middle portion of the green, let it just run back there. You can't get overly aggressive.
Okay, here is the youngster from Costa Rica, Luca Peterman.
192 yards today. Oh, look at this shot. That was with a fairway metal. I love it.
Got Guan Tianlong, who won the Asia Pacific Amateur at 14, then made the cut at the Masters. Patrick Sparks giving the home fans something to cheer about here, day 1 of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Well, we've got a nice looking leaderboard to start the week. We've got some of the top players as we perceived before the tournament started, right up to the top, which is great. And a beautiful golf course. This is a golf course that if you can drive your golf ball in the fairway, you can really set up some opportunities for make some birdies. If you get it going sideways a little bit, good luck. The greens are tough to putt. Beautiful putting surface, but with a little bit of slope and with some rain, they're not going to be easy. Patrick Sparks walking down the 10th fairway. Off to a nice stop. Here's a look at the 10th green. A little bit of breeze blowing from left to right back into the players of the whole location way in the back left-hand corner. Not the easiest one to get close to. If you get a little bit over aggressive and hit over the green, you're staring at a bogey automatically. And as we pan back, off to our left is the 18th fairway, and that's where Patrick Sparks has hit his tee shot here. So he's going to have a tough time figuring out a distance. You know, a lot of Pythagorean theory goes in here. A little A, B, gets a C at the end. Got some tree trouble, so he's going to have to launch this one way up in the air to get it up over those trees. But at least he hit it wide enough. He does have a shot.
The Latin America Amateur Championship is brought to you by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM, let's create smarter business. UPS, be unstoppable. AT&T, who believes connecting changes everything. And Mercedes-Benz, drive with precision on and off the course. A lot of us headed from the desert city up to Machu Picchu when all of this is over. It is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. 90-minute flight to Cusco, and you take the train into Machu Picchu. Seven Wonders of the World. Great Wall from the Ming Dynasty 600 years ago. The Colosseum, the Mayan city of Chichen Itza. What I'm reminded of is there were smart people even 600, 700 years ago. The water delivery systems, Machu Picchu down here in Lima, remarkable. Now Sparks, the 10.
212, cluster of trees, 70 yards in front of him, shouldn't be a problem. Heading just left of the hole.
Oh, what a shot. My heavens, put it in there about 15 feet from the hole. He turned what looked like an awkward position to an opportunity for a bird.
Eric Fortledge next to play from the fairway, 173 again, wind into them. Andy trying to get it back to that left hole location.
Yeah, this is one you can't be too super aggressive with. You think you'd be looking 15 feet, maybe short right of the hole as your landing spot. This young man really looks like he's got an amazing future. He's played a lot of quality golf already.
That one floating right.
Second year at the University of Arkansas. Hard to believe, 19 years old. This is his 5th start.
That's what we're talking about. We say these kids grow up at this championship. Stiazzaro.
Didn't get a chance to look at the lie, courtesy of Patrick Sparks being an 18 fairway, but from the looks of it here, gonna have to be creative. Definitely some trees to contend with from 171.
Took it up over the top. A couple of trees just to get it on the front portion of the green. That was very well executed shot.
Back to the 9th.
This is a tricky read for Quiroga. Looks like it wants to turn left early and then sneak right at the hole.
There's quite a few. We'll talk about how strong the grain is on some of these greens, but there's some putts you'll have that the grain's going one direction, the slope of the greens going the other direction. It's really hard to figure out what's going to happen. The grain won that time.
Quiroga's just 17. He's already 105 in those World Amateur Golf rankings. Another player on the move. Back to the 4th and birdie putt, Luca Peterman.
Super fast at the end, downhill, down grain. Did he get it there? He hit a great putt.
So here we go, both from Costa Rica. Guillermo Rote, 54 in his 2nd appearance. Don't forget, Costa Rica with some success. Paul Chaplet having won it years ago, and Luca Peterman, 13 in his Latin America Amateur Championship debut. He's youngest by a couple of years.
I'm Luca Peterman. I'm from Costa Rica and I'm 13 years old. I'm nervous and excited. Nervous partially because I've never been in a tournament like this, but excited because it's going to be a cool experience. I'm going to meet a lot of people who are very, very good at golf, and it's cool to see other places in the world. 6 years ago, my dad introduced me to golf and I really liked it. It really is fun. When it goes well, it's amazing. When it goes bad, it's frustrating, but still amazing. I really appreciate that I have the opportunity to do that, and I'm really grateful to be able to play a sport that's as privileged as this. I look up to Latin players a lot. Joaquin Niemann, Paul Chaplet. He's played this tournament, he's won this tournament before. I don't know him as well as I would say like a really good friend, but I do know him a lot. He's a bit of an idol. But I really look up to Rory and Scotty as well. I mean, everybody looks up to them. They're really humble, really nice people, and very, very good golfers. When I watch them on TV, I'm always thinking if I could get up there, it would be the biggest opportunity ever and probably the funnest thing I've ever seen in my life. It will be a really cool challenge for me to see if in a tournament with pressure like this, I can just have fun and be able to hit the driver straight, long, and be able to make putts. And also, I heard there's a game room in the hotel, so I'm looking forward to that.
Take note, even deep into the professional ranks. That's a good interview right there. Luca Peterman. Well, I love what he said, Andy, about meeting people and seeing the world. And think about what Chairman Ridley said last night at the welcome reception to the 108 youngsters. Let golf be your passport to great courses and maybe more importantly, great connections and friendships. That's what this is all about.
Well, it's amazing that the friendships that you made as junior players 60 years later are still your good friends, which is
So Fort Lynch at the 10th.
it's pretty good play down there, so has an opportunity to save his par.
Andy, this is meaningful, to say the least.
No kidding.
All that is on the line for the champion here.
Yeah, to get a chance to play in 3 of the great major championships we have in the world, plus the U.S. Amateur and the British Amateur. I mean, it's just amazing stuff that it changes your life, it changes your whole year, gives you opportunities and experiences that no matter what you do, you couldn't buy.
We talked about great golf courses. U.S. Amateurs going to Marion in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. U.S. Opens at Shinnecock. The Open is at Royal Birkdale. History made. Ostiazaron, miss for birdie.
And it's one of those you have to figure out the grain on the slope.
Okay, that's a really nice play to get it within that 3-foot circle around the hole. You're going to see players take some time on these short putts this week. There's enough grain that you have to really be careful. You have to hit really solid putts.
Hey, Burko, Patrick Sparks right in the mix a year ago.
He certainly, what a 3 this would be, considering where and you hit on a great point, Rich, when he chipped in at 9. There's that crowd. There is buzz on a Thursday, hoping someone from Peru could win this championship come Sunday.
And dove hard.
That's so much grain there. Most of the holes it runs from back to front, but some swirls around. Well, just once it gets going left, it is just, as it loses speed, it just goes sideways.
So there are 13 clubs here in Peru, 3,000 players estimated with handicaps. Golf Peru has done an outstanding job preparing this golf course and this championship. And now Fort Lynch from Paraguay.
Trying to jumpstart this round, even far on the opening side of birdie and a bogey. Certainly one of the favorites coming into this week. 3 straight top 15 finishes the last 3 years in this championship.
Good save, nice up and in. Finished 9th last week in the South American Amateur in Argentina.
The background noise. I mean, we are smack in the city. High rises in the San Isidro district, famous.
Very much the same feel as Central Park in Manhattan.
It really is. Wonderful club. A dozen clay tennis courts, swimming. Some great spots to sit and have a drink, cup of coffee, a bite to eat.
I was impressed by how many youngsters were taking tennis lessons the last 2 or 3 days.
I saw some
and some
kids
good players. Yes.
pounding it from the baseline. I mean,
and it's clay down here, so there's a lot of it. Sparks to clean up his par. After the tee shot, you didn't know what to expect. He did a nice job making 4.
so we've heard that comparison, Andy. You felt that way. I know Amelia did. Here we go. Lima and Central Park.
it's a very interesting, you know, you seldom see this sort of thing around the golf course. You'll see homes, you'll see some office buildings and stuff, but to see 30 and 40-story apartment condos literally circling it is amazing. Obviously not quite as dense as New York, but it's pretty darn close.
Lima is the desert city, or the city of kings. It's actually the second largest city in the world built in a desert, behind Cairo.
Okay. I didn't realize there was going to be a test.
Google AI is a hell of a thing, isn't it? We all sound like Jesus.
Huh? Are you good? Yeah.
Peru looking for its first ever Latin American Amateur Championship.
This group makes its way to the 11th tee. Really a good par 3. Really good. They've moved the tee up a little bit today. It's playing, yeah, it's still playing 220. Pretty good. From a green size from right to left, it's got some size, but from back to front, it's not very deep. Really a tough hole location over in the right-hand corner of the green. Tough to get it close there. Middle of the green, you take all day long and try to 2-putt from 30 feet. Get out of here with a 3. Wind is hurting.
It is, Andy, and you touched on it. This whole location from this length at 220, it's one of those, you hit it right on the head. Center of the green, 2-putt from 30, 40 feet. Don't want to miss this right.
Berkeley, I'm sorry, go ahead, Andy.
Oh, Berkeley, when you get some of these holes that are cut over on the edges, the greens kind of slope off at the edge, and the grain goes that way. If you happen to hit a putt that's maybe 3-4 feet by the hole, you can putt it right off the green.
You will, and I've had many who have played this course on multiple occasions tell me earlier this week, you will see balls go off the green and maybe from the bunker into penalty areas. That's how severe that grain is.
Shot, 5th hole. Just the way he carries himself, the way he dresses, the way he walks, the way he swings it, the way he spoke to our producers, you can see he is going to be a player.
Have we put a 20-year-old in a little body, maybe? A nice little pitch from down there. As most youngsters, if you can chip and putt, you can still play.
Juan Long made the cut at 14 at the Masters, famously. Fort Lich.
Really love this young man's swing. Gets through the ball exceptionally well. Doesn't force it. Still can create a lot of speed. Unfortunately, not get over the green. That won't be an easy up and in. It'll be very quick around the hole going away.
You see it. They're all polished. They all have the look. It's high-level stuff, coaching, equipment, all of it.
You know, when we first came down here, you'd walk down the range and you're wondering, yeah, is this guy, can he do it or not? Swings have improved dramatically. The coaching, the technology that these youngsters are being able to use is fantastic. And you talked earlier, Rich, about the Costa Campo and their academy that they had last year for the first time, and a dozen of these youngsters were there. So there's great teaching, and they've had some good players like Joaquin Niemann to idolize and work harder to be like him.
Starting left for Asti Azaran, see if he can work back.
Well, just to finish up on your point, Andy, I will say, people have asked, well, why are the governing bodies, Augusta National, why are they doing this? simple. They feel an obligation and a responsibility to give back. And this is the bloodline of the game. If golf does not nurture these young people, we don't have a future. And with more on that, let's go down to the one and only John Sutcliffe.
This tournament's about opportunidades, opportunities that you can follow your dreams. We have examples like Joaquín Niemann, Nico Echeverría, Álvaro Ortiz, Sebastián Muñoz, Alejandro Tosti. I remember the first tournament 11 years ago in Buenos Aires. Honduras didn't have one player participating. Now, for the last 5 years, from Tegucigalpa, Honduras. So it's also a way to grow the game in the region. And something very important, education. Maybe you can get a college degree and follow your dreams in golf. But maybe you have another pathway. And this tournament has given that opportunity. Muchísimas gracias, the Masters, R&A, and USGA. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, abróchense el cinturón, buckle up. We're gonna have some fun and great golf in a beautiful, beautiful golf course, bellísimo, like Lima Golf.
We need to get Sutcliffe down at the Indy 500 and get that race started. No one like
the one
John.
and only.
That's right. Now the big Argentine, Pulcini. And Amelia's there.
Pulcini placed this tee shot in a perfect location to that back left flag. Want to land this 10, 15 paces short of the flag, and it will kick forward.
Love how we went about that, bringing it a little bit lower, a little three-quarter swing. Beautifully done.
Wouldn't
right
be,
where you wanted.
Wouldn't be a tournament if we didn't have a burly Argentine in the mix. Like Abel Gallegos won it a few years ago. He like a young bull like Angel Cabrera. Now Peterman, this to save.
See this cat came up, peaked just a little bit. Got to start a little bit further to the right than he wanted. What a nice start. This, even with this bogey, he'll be even par. Getting out of the blocks. And as a young player, if you get off to a nice start like he has, it really does help calm you down. He said he was going to be so nervous on his first tee shot. He didn't know if he could be able to handle it, but he's doing great.
To the 11th.
Yeah, we got a little short game contest between this trio, all missing the green with their tee shot. Looks like it's going to be Carlos Azaran first to go with his second. Plenty of green with which to work. Andy, he went up about a 15, 18 paces on, trying to kind of identify that landing spot he'd like this ball to pitch onto and see if gravity will take care of the rest.
Yeah, gravity at the end is a big part of this. It goes over a little bit of a ridge and then it goes back downhill. But if this comes out just a little bit hot, you can chip it right over the green. So I would suspect this is going to be short.
And that came out high.
Easy. Oh, what a great play. He had just enough spin on it.
Sure did.
Check off the first one. That was big time short gainer.
Yeah, he landed about 6 paces past where he was standing. But he knows a lot better than we do.
Yeah, so when he's doing his interview later on, 11, yeah, I just made him easy par.
Yeah, had a 2-foot tap in, right?
Right.
All right, looks like Patrick Sparks next to go from that front bunker, going back into the wind. A little bit longer than you would like, but compared to what Eric Fortledge is going to face after Patrick, I think Sparks will take this any way he can.
He's playing up to the green. Should be able to stop this pretty well.
Yeah, nicely done there.
He's got about a 5-footer to save his par. Just another look at it. Really holds the angle. Weight on his left-hand side. I love it how the club goes in the sand and the shaft flexes. You can't believe that steel can flex like that just going through sand. Well done, good technique. Now this one, Burko, obviously much more difficult.
What did John Sutcliffe say? Buckle up. Just a few moments ago, this is downwind, downhill, downwind, everything working against them.
Just to get this and keep it on the green, 8-10 feet from hole would be a nice play. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. You gotta be kidding.
I'm telling you, it was really hard, guys.
But Andy, as he sat up over the ball, I couldn't help but notice what a beautiful setup
Yeah,
made.
that was
He just like
Got
savvy,
down low.
old
Yeah,
school.
that was really big time play. And not a smile. He is locked in. Here's another look of it. Club face wide open, really spanked the sand. That was terrific. You could stand there all day and hit another 50 and not do that again. Because he was a little bit on the downslope, really got down lower, a lot of weight in his left side.
It's a smaller
Beautiful.
shot, Andy. It's not a 315-yard tee shot, but it's a really athletic motion there. Just you get in that position.
That was absolutely fantastic.
It's relatively early, but that's the shot of the day.
Oh, we got a smile.
And I promise you guys, I didn't oversell it. How challenging that look, and he made it just appear to be a routine up and down.
In the great tradition of the late great Bob Rosberg, how you can never undersell
Rossi, what do you have? It's got no chance. I was lucky enough to work with Rossi at ABC a little bit. It was wonderful.
And now Sparks Berger, I'm curious, he's 24. Does he plan at some point to turn professional? And if so, did he delay it in order to take this opportunity here at home?
It's still on the radar, but you nailed it, Rich. He wanted to play in this championship, no doubt about it. Hopes to remain amateur throughout the course of the year, then we'll reevaluate as he makes his first bogey of the day right there.
I think he hit it in the line he wanted to, his speed just a little bit extra, which he does pour him in. He will use the back of the cup.
Andy, what do you think of the scoring so far? What does it tell you about the golf course and where this might be headed?
I think this, before we were talking earlier, we thought that probably 8 to 12 under, depending. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of wind. I think it's going to be difficult to shoot 4 really good scores here, but I think we'll see some, maybe 64, 65s. If you drive the ball, great, you could make birdies. But there's enough grain and there's enough elevation and changes of levels in the greens that you got to be careful.
It's as good a bunker shot as you're going to see.
I mean, I think if you shoot 270, that's 10 under. That would be an awesome score. Really an awesome score. But I don't think we're going to get any weird weather. The weather's going to be perfect all week. No wind. You talked about the condos around here in the apartment buildings. Yeah. If you got 20, 25 miles an hour, the swirling winds would be impossible. I don't think we're going to see any of that. Doesn't sound like it.
Cini.
To get back to under par for Puccini, turning left.
That's all grain. We've seen every putt from that spot miss left.
Fourth ledge.
Guys that stand up at the plate with a bat that you just know are going to hit the ball. He looks so good over the ball setting up to it. You just feel like there's no way he's not going to hit a good shot. And then as we say that, he hits it out in the woods on the right.
There really is validity in the announcer's curse.
But this is slow-mo. It just, really turns into his right side. Keeps his left foot on the ground, club's in a nice position, holds that angle, and just unloads on it.
Strong through the trunk area like Xander Schauffele.
Just didn't quite time it up perfectly that time.
Now we watch Asti Azaran, a 21-year-old from Mexico, playing in this championship for the very first time.
That's a little bit surprising that this is his first time at 21. He's such a solid player. Although Mexico's had, you're limited to so many players each country that making the Mexican team is tough.
It is, and he could be classified by many around him that have told me kind of a late bloomer, had those high aspirations, Andy, but it isn't until maybe the last 18 months when things really started clicking.
Álvaro Ortiz of Mexico won the Latin American Amateur Championship in 2019. Sensational final record, 66th of the dog, Casa de Campo, which, by the way, is done, opening in March. What a special place that is. Now Sparks.
Crowd getting a little bit bigger to watch the Pride of Peru.
That was toasted. That was way back. Might have a little bit of anger in it. He smoked it down, and he should be able to. 12 holes a tough par 5 to go into because there's some penalty areas around it, but we'll see.
Fort Lodge with the big highlight, the bunker hole out. Real treat for you, one of our favorites. Geronimo Esteve is in the booth with us when we come back to the Latin America Amateur Championship.
This is our Peterman, 13-year-old. This is his third shot. A little bit of trouble. See if he can get it on the putting surface and save his bogey. That one is going to be just off the edge of the green, so he has a chance to get it up and in. But hitting a fairway metal for your third is not a good way to attack this hole. Let's go to the par 3 11th. Amelia?
Such a beast of a par 3, 220 yards back into the wind. Really important to be able to flight that shot. Well, that was flush. Actually needs to sit down.
Wow, that went a mile. That was a good full club, more than anticipated.
Sí, en plan que
Maybe the wind fooled him a little bit, Amelia.
caiga en el centro.
It's difficult. I've been watching this group, and it's challenging depending on the whole location and flight.
Va. Está bien, está bien.
Another strong player. Oh yes, that's as good a shot as we've seen here. Just barely carrying the bunker. He's going to have a nice uphill birdie opportunity.
All right, here's one of our favorites. Been a great friend through the years. Mid-40s now. He's had a tremendous run this championship. He's contended on a number of occasions, hasn't yet won it. But he's one of those pure amateurs. Just loves the game. Didn't have his best day. Man, he's shaking his head to my right here. 76. We will give him a pass. He's a businessman too, and a family man. Got kids and beautiful wife. Geronimo Esteve is with us. Hiro, good to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. This is great.
So, go ahead. Golf course. Let's start there. I mean, you struggled on it today.
Yeah. I think you guys called it. I think at the beginning of the week, I said 10 under would probably win. I'd sign for it. And as played more practice rounds, I really thought it was going to be like 6. I think, Andy, you said it. I think, everybody's going to, maybe one guy's going to have a good round every day, but it's really hard to sustain that for 3 or 4 days.
Why?
It's just if, yes, it's short, but, the rough is very penal. And the greens are tricky. They're very difficult to read. There's a lot of green changes on the green. The grain I found today wasn't really affecting the balls moving left to right as much as short or long. It's just a tricky little golf course.
As far as looking at the golf course, we've seen almost everybody hit drivers. It seemed to me there were a bunch of holes you could maybe play less than driver, get in the fairway, give yourself a little bit more opportunity. Did you go with some shorter?
I did.
stuff
I hit some shorter clubs on the tees, 4 irons. If I was to lay it back on some of the shorter holes, exactly for that reason, gave myself a wedging, in the fairway. These kids, it's a little bit statistics now prove that they want to get it down there as far as you can. I don't know if this is one of those courses. I found the greens this morning faster than they've been the last couple of days, which kind of caught us out a little bit early. And then the par 5s, know, there's really only one of them that's very gettable, and the other three, you know, you really got to think about what you're doing.
Because they all have water. And that's, you know, there's like the 12th hole. It looks like there's no room up there at all.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at it, you know, it's you know, you're going to have 250, 260 in with that big lake on the left. It's just, it's not worth it.
This is a good-looking player right here, Patrick Sparks.
Unbelievable player. I love his demeanor, guys. He's just always so calm, you know. Yeah, this is a home game for him.
Yeah, how big is this for Peru?
I think it's incredible. You know, Julian Perico is a great Peruvian player.
Playing
you know,
the Challenge Tour right
Yeah,
now.
he's playing Challenge Tour, great guy, you know, and yeah, these guys are coming up after him, man. This is awesome. They've been such great hosts so far. The activity on Wednesday was fantastic. And the club, like you guys said, is awesome. This is a great country club.
This is a good-looking player here. That's the Azaron.
Yeah, Rich, he hit so far left the line. He's pretty good. 239 in the wind. Should be just getting it back into play. Very little angle to deal with, especially with that water short left.
Just getting it back in the fairway, which he did.
Yeah, that hole I had in my notes, you cannot miss a left off the tee. Where Hartley shaded, it actually is totally fine. That layup's pretty easy.
So we are soaring to new heights here. Taking a deep dive in Peru at the Latin American Amateur Championship.
This Polcini's second at the par 3 11th, and another fantastic recovery shot. So good. Wow.
A straight down green, too.
Well, I think that's what here, the speed down green's probably 14, 15 on the stimp, and into it's maybe 7 or 8 on some of these greens. Now our 13-year-old Peterman trying to save worst a bogey with an up and in. Easy. All right, still, you know, if you can eliminate, especially as a super young player as he is, if your mistakes can be bogeys and not make doubles and triples, that's really a big deal. It's hard to learn that when you're 13, 14 years old.
His short game technique is incredible.
Yeah, it's really fun to see these guys. As Rich was saying earlier, we've seen so many young men grow up in the 10, 11 years we've been here, which is really special. As you were saying, Lima, country Peru have been fantastic this week. Just absolutely laying out their best. Now Peterman to see if he can save his bogey. Just keep your head down, listen to it to go in. You don't need to look. That away. Good save.
This is Eric Fortlunge, third shot here at the par 5 12.
From 101, Rich, back into the wind. That is a perilous left hole location.
That's exactly where you'd expect, 10, 12 feet to the right of the flagstick. Still with a good birdie opportunity.
And Andy, I did ask him walking down the fairway. I said the bunker shot at 11, 1 through 10 of difficulty. He smiled. He said at 9, so we weren't far off. He just hit a heck of a shot.
Well, that's. I'm surprised we didn't get a 10 or 12 out of him out of 10.
Probably because he made it, right?
Exactly. I got this.
All right, here's the Azaron from 87 yards.
Yeah, and this is what we're going to see all week long at the par 5 12. I don't think we'll see anybody try to attack this green. Lay it up, give yourself a nice number, you control the distance. Ooh, love his action on that short shot. Ooh, 3/4, really accelerated with a lot of body. Well done.
Now Sparks.
Yeah, the third member to go from 81 yards. And something that caught my eye, Andy, on the layup, he got it as far down that right-hand side as possible to create a better angle for this left hole location.
He gives him more opportunities. He can come in lower if he wants to. Looks like he pulled. If it stayed up or not.
If it stayed up, that's a very holdable chip shot. Because then he's right into the green uphill. It's very makeable.
Almost kind of sitting right up against the cut of the fairway and rough. I don't know if that had any effect to that. May have. Get a little bit of grass in there.
He is okay. Patrick Sparks left. He's fortunate that the slope going down the water, as we know, this rough has been grown a couple inches, so that might have been his saving grace. This is no more than about 15 feet from the hole.
Yeah, this is one that you could see him making back into the grain. He has to be firm with it.
11th hole. This is Vicente Quiroga from Bolivia.
Excellent placement below the hole from Quiroga. This to go 1 under on the par 3s today.
Came out of that Latin America Amateur Championship Academy we talked about at Casa in the Dominican Republic. So you see Geronimo at 44, still highly competitive. 3 top 10s in his last 4 years. He was 6th a year ago and threatened really through a few rounds, and has represented Puerto Rico. Our good friend Sidney Wolf in the grounds, always a number of occasions at the Eisenhower Trophy. And now Sparks.
He did it at 9. Can he do it again here at 12? Sure can.
Maybe that's
Big man.
Maybe we need to start missing greens.
Hold on. Geronimo might be taking your seat. I mean, the kid's 25 yards short of the green, and he says this one's holdable.
If it's not wet.
If it's not wet.
Way to go, Hero. Give it up, brother. Fist 5 in the box.
Well, that's, you know, to make a mistake like that and be lucky enough to have it stay up and then go ahead and knock it in. That's
Well,
beautiful.
and Hero, how about the short game display? We're seeing now 2 chip-ins, the bunker hole out.
It's going to be huge this week. The short game is going to be huge this week because, you know, if you start hitting in the rough, you're going to miss greens. And, you know, if you have very good technique, if you feel comfortable, you can actually hit, you know, really good pitches. The turf is actually excellent.
6 feet 4 inches tall, thereabouts, with a soft touch. Reminds me of another guy who's sitting in this booth right now who won the U.S. Open twice.
Pretty good. pretty good.
Long time ago. So you know, we talked about you didn't have your best day today. What do you do moving forward to get yourself where you need to be?
Yeah, you know, I was talking to my caddy. We actually played great today. We hit the ball very well. We put ourselves in great positions. I just didn't get it done on the greens. Found something with my setup afterwards. Felt more comfortable.
66 rounds not out of the question.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So will you set kind of a number where you think you need to get to, or just go play?
You know, I'm the type that just kind of goes plays, but you know, I have an idea in my mind. You know, I obviously got to get a couple back tomorrow at least to get myself back in the tournament. So, you know, we'll go out there and do that. It's just this golf course, there's 2 9s, and the back 9 is 2 or 3 shots harder than the front 9. You know, so it's almost like you got to hold on in the back 9 and then kind of get after it on the front 9.
17 and 18 are the first and second most difficult holes, so they're going to have a lot to do with who wins this golf tournament.
I'll tell you, today 17, I hit 2 perfect shots and made double bogey.
Welcome to golf.
Yeah.
So you should slide a little bit to the right. Just have to be a little bit careful.
It's a great birdie too, from where he drove it.
Yeah.
He won the North and South Amateur, Pinehurst #2. List of winners of that tournament: Francis Ouimet, Jack Nicklaus, Curtis Strange, Davis Love III. Chip in Patrick Sparks, right back tied for the lead.
Okay.
So Mexico, Andy, with the most players at 7, their Golf Federation has done an excellent job.
Well, I love the fact that when we first came down here, there was basically Mexico, Argentina, and Chile that had full complements of fields. Each team can only have so many. And now you look at this and it's Paraguay. Would you ever believe that 10 or 12 years ago? Guatemala, 6 players. I mean, that's fantastic. Bolivia. Golf is exploding in this part of the world, and there's been so many good young players. And the fact that we have 108 players in this field and 71 of them have gone to college or are currently going to college in America. What a great opportunity to change your life through golf.
A very good player right here, Omar Tejera Yen from Panama. Mid-30s.
Yeah.
He's a banker, but he played the last 2 U.S. amateurs.
Yeah.
So he can go.
Huh?
I look at some of the older guys that are playing a lot of amateur golf. Do they really work? I mean, I'm looking at this man over here.
I'm working, buddy. That's why I look like I'm 60.
But there's so many opportunities now. There's so many tournaments. Every country down here has a major national open. They have a major amateur championship. They have multiple other amateur tournaments. There's a lot of golf to be played.
Back to 13, this par 3 after the birdie at the par 5. Here is Carlos Mazziazarón. He is headed to Vanderbilt. Berto, how do you get there?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey for Carlos. Spent his first 2 years at Pacific. Transferred into Vanderbilt this past fall semester, his first go-around in the SEC. I caught up with Scott Limbaugh, the Vandy head coach, and said, this young man can play as good a tempo as he's ever seen. In fact, it's the first transfer Vanderbilt has ever taken under head coach Scott Limbaugh. I asked him, why was Carlos the guy? He said because of his maturity, and Carlos had always dreamed of playing for the Commodores. Well, he's in Nashville now and trying to make a big impact there and here this week as well.
Well, he set himself up perfectly to make birdie. Chip it in from there.
It's going.
That chip is fast. That chip is straight down green. This is a great par 3. This little one here, I just think it's awesome.
What do you like about it?
I love that, you know, the 3 tiers. You know, it's kind of one of those where you got to really just hit it at the very middle of the green, because if you miss it left to right, the up and down is impossible.
This is a perfect example. If we got 15 to 20 mile an hour winds in this golf course, there'd be no way to get it. The green's elevated, 3 levels.
You'd have to take down a lot of condos and apartment buildings. We're not that far from the Pacific. You don't feel those fierce winds because of all the tall structures.
Just anything up in that back level is really where you want to go. You got to be so careful not to be too aggressive and not get over the screen, because that's no good either.
And then course experience here. You look at the trio we're following, guys. Carlos had never been on property until this week. Patrick guesstimates he's played a couple of 100 rounds here during his time living in Peru. And then Eric Fortledge won a junior event in this very golf course in 2023. The week after, a top 15 finish in the Latin America Amateur Championship.
He really looks the part, doesn't he, Hero?
His golf swing is incredible. You're talking about guys that I've seen with the best swings. I think Eric and I don't know if you guys saw Gabriel Palacios today from Guatemala. Man, do they swing at it well.
Go ahead, Hero, what'd you think of this?
It's so good. Look at his pace. You guys talk about look how low he got with his lower body, weight left, laid it wide open, that confidence to just throw that club under it. It's so good. He looks like a tour player, you know.
And you predicted this.
So this kid's got that something in him, you know. He's got some kind of, you know, the kids these days say, you know, dog mentality. You know, he's just got that.
Can you imagine? That'd be some story if he's right there on Sunday here in his home country.
It'd be a lot of fun.
He was close last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was runner-up.
Yeah.
And the winner last year, Justin Hastings, reminds me a little bit of Portledge. Hastings off to a good start in the Corn Ferry Tour. He made the cut, the U.S. Open, OAM. Here's another Peruvian, Mauricio Tello.
He's off to a nice solid start, even par, and was able to get that one a little bit of spin. We haven't seen that. The green's quite firm, but that obviously was into the grain where it landed.
Tell you, on his third Latin America Amateur Championship. So came out of the academy of Casa. And here's Luca Peterman.
Let's see if he hole one to get shot back that he made in the last hole. Bogey.
This hole reminds me of 15 at LACC. It's just a little hole on par 3, 120 yards, but boy, you better not miss that green.
Green's about 10 yards wide and about 40 yards deep.
So this is the 11th edition of one of the great championships in the amateur ranks, that's for sure. Given all that's on the line, it is an amateur major. 108 players from 29 countries and territories now. Chile off to a really fast start, winning 3. They've cooled a bit. So you think about Joaquin Niemann. Peru now the 7th nation to have hosted the Latin America Amateur Championship. Omar Tejera again, 7th. Omar, like you, has done very well in business, sits on the board of a bank.
Yeah, Omar is a great player, always has been. You know, he works really hard in his game, works on his fitness. You know, and he works, you know, and it's very impressive, man. A very impressive player.
Omar is going to join us in the booth tomorrow. Astiazaron. Berko, who's his mentor?
You think about what Carlos had done. We go back to his time at Pacific, really, and John Cook, the head coach there, as we see if he can join the group here of chipping things in. You know, he's always had the high aspirations of trying to dream and playing Vanderbilt, and always wanted to win at Pacific. As a freshman, he couldn't get the job done, and he just kept trying. But you know what? He stayed true to his process. Finally broke through last year at Pacific with 2 wins. Very best in program history. So, you know, it's one of those that's a collaboration, really, Rich, and people that believed in him to continue to support him along the way to get to his point. Spark's actually going to go first.
Anytime you're putting into the grain, it's just hard to make yourself hit the ball firmly enough.
He was in that middle tier 2. That's tricky. I mean, it's just a great par 3.
Let's see how fast this is going to be. Can he control it? It looks like the lie's good enough.
Yeah, the line's really good, Andy. I think he has options, but you guys have noted very challenging from this top shelf. They make it look really easy, guys.
Judged it really nicely, as fast as that was.
All right, here is Mauricio Tello of Peru. He just turned 19. This for the Turkey is the same bowling. 3 in a row. Knock them all down. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see some runs where guys get on it, where you can make 3, 4 in a row. You can make 6, 7, 8 birdies in a round here, but can you keep the card clean enough to end up with a really good score? Because there's a lot of bogey opportunities too if you drive the ball poorly.
Restrepo from Colombia.
Just 85 yards for Restrepo, with his flag tucked just 3 paces off the edge, requiring a ton of precision. This is a great line.
Just good shot.
And to 13.
As we watch Portledge, Rich, and you talked about mentor, he's got a pretty good one. Fabrizio Zanatti, a 2-time DP World Tour winner, also won the gold medal here at the Pan Am Games in 2019. His message, Eric, this week, simple: pars and patience.
That works almost anywhere you play.
It does, Andy, but we know how young and fearless these kids are. That patience can be tested.
Patience might be the most difficult part of it.
was talking to Gabriel Palacios earlier today. His coach told him conservative lines, aggressive swings.
Yeah, that's really a good thought. Usually people think about being conservative. That's not what we're talking. We're just picking smart lines. Go ahead and do your thing. Nice two-putt par from that second level.
Been a really good opening round. Excellent golf course in a world-class city. It is the 11th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Par save, well done, and you see that leaderboard, Andy Schoenbaum. This is his 10th Latin America Amateur Championship. Lowest score he ever shot was the Sunday round last year, where he finished with 66, and he jumped right out. Matched it again today. He actually has a job. He's working for the RNA down here in South America, trying to grow the game of golf. He's still a really good player. Got to watch out for him this week.
Such a great guy. This course suits him really well. He hits it really straight. I'm so happy to see him up there, man. He deserves it. Great guy. One of the great guys in the damn game.
Let's play here. This is his 10th start here. That's pretty cool. Only missed one cut. So he's always been in the middle of it, but he's never really been in that heat Sunday afternoon. A lot of top 15s, a lot of top 20 type finishes, but I think he'd love to be in that last couple of groups.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He's solid. You know, just really doesn't have weakness in his game. Hits it pretty good, drives it pretty good, good short game. He's just a good player. There's so many out here now.
That's Polcini with his birdie attempt at 12.
The last birdie Polcini made was on the 6th. Was nearly there. The hardest part of golf is needing to come back with birdies, but not forcing it, because that puts more tension in the body.
Can't believe that ball's hung out to the right. That's one of those putts where the slope's going one way, the grain's the other way. Hard to breathe.
Andy, I don't know if you've had much time to spend with me.
Well, here's a way to stay up to date on everything that is happening at the Latin America Amateur Championship, anywhere, anytime. LAACGolf.com. Follow the championship on your chosen social media platforms as well. Outstanding digital team. Hard at work here.
I'm on it right now, Rich. Just making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do.
14th team. Carlos Astillero from Mexico.
3 under has played so well today, Rich. And you can appreciate you have the young talent that starts at Pacific, now at Vanderbilt, that wants to win and maybe tries too hard, but then it's that step back and staying true to all the little things. And then you can pay it off in a week like this, win, lose, or draw, just knowing you can compete with some of the best.
Absolutely. I really do like his club selection on this shortish par 4. Fairway metal, trying to make sure he gets in the fairway. The one tree is not really in play. It's only about 180 yards in front of you. He'll have no trouble carrying that.
Yeah, good one there, right side of the fairway.
Give himself just a full wedge instead of, hit driver, get it up there, maybe one of those awkward areas, or put it in the rough, then you've got some problems. All the swings are getting better. Good rhythm, nice balance. Sparks going with his driver.
Leaning just a little bit.
Start getting it out of the trees here. The grasses. We've got 3-inch Bermuda off the fairways that get out into that area. It's a water-tight grass that's much longer, thicker, and heavier. Not really easy to get a lot of club on the ball if you're in that.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the chat, Andy, this week from the players to all of us. You might get a reasonable lie, 2 feet away, could be sitting down. It's truly a guessing game, putting the premium on hitting in the fairway as we watch Fort Lynch.
I really think the winner of this championship is going to have to play these last 5 holes well on the second 9. 14 is a very birdieable par 4, and then after that, the last 4 are pretty tough holes, 15, 16, 17, 18, 17 to 18 being the 2 most difficult holes.
Back at the 12th, Restrepo for birdie to get to even par.
Opportunity for Restrepo to go to school on this putt after just watching Fulcini miss it high.
Good read.
This kid is unreal. I mean, superstar in the making here.
What does he have that you love?
He's just his mentality, his mental game. I think he won the Orange Bowl. He was like 7 shots back and won the Orange Bowl Junior a couple weeks ago. Just unbelievable golf.
Luca Peterman, his second into this par 4, and another really nice shot right over the flagstick. Really impressed with this young man's game.
I mean, he's 13. It's just amazing.
I didn't start playing golf till I was 13. I can't imagine being on this stage at that age.
Vicente Quiroga for par at the 12th.
This is a pretty big momentum putt, especially after Vicente flying green with his wedge on the 3rd.
Oh yes, what a save. I think we'll see, players. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see a lot of 4 bogeys, 4 birdie rounds of golf here for even this week.
Omar Tahira. Okay, former professional, reinstated amateur.
So that ball stopped exceptionally fast. He was hitting into the green and going uphill a little bit, so you could really stop it. If you happen to get it down green on an approach shot, no chance to get it close.
So we're live now at the 13th with Thomas Restrepo.
170 yards, a 3-tier green, and very little width. Accuracy is important, difficult to do with the crosswind out of the left. That's just going to hang on. Restrepo probably going to have to chip, but it was mentioned Restrepo winning the Junior Orange Bowl. His coach, Hernan Ray, said, actually told him to take a week off. He was going on vacation with his family and he wanted to bring his clubs. Coach Ray said, no, you're not. You enjoy that time with your family. Coaching Restrepo on the importance of recovery and rest when you're training. And then the week later goes on to win the Junior Orange Bowl. Pretty impressive and a great learning moment for Restrepo in that situation.
Hernan Ray is widely known in Latin America. He's one of the great coaches in the world. You haven't heard a whole lot about him. Also, he does some commentary this tournament here in Latin America. Quiroga. Strong young guy right here.
Quiroga from Bolivia, where his hometown is, plays 8,000 meters above elevation. His caddy, Pepe, who's from Mexico City, plays from a similar elevation. They came here 2 weeks early to try and recalibrate. And that's high. It looks like it's lost to the right.
It's like Machu Picchu. Which would be a good course with.
I'll tell you what.
We had to get Tom Doak to Machu Picchu.
I'd probably hit it long up there too.
Now, 14, Astiazo Geronimo Esteve is with us in the blue book. You've been at the amateur game for a long time now. What's the biggest difference you've seen, say, in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, you guys called it, right? The first tournament we had in Argentina, it was, you know, a bunch of kids on the range. Now there's trackmen, 4 coaches, putting coaches, joking ranges, you know, the college bags. I mean, it's just like the whole level. This tournament really has done incredible things for golf in the region. The proof is in I mean, just look at the guys, you know.
This now from 102 into the wind off the right.
Can't say enough of what the Masters tournament, RNA and the USGA have done, coming together, working. You know, you get a bunch of good, smart people in a room together, good things can happen. And I love the fact that they came up with this idea, and it's really worked well.
What's your level of gratitude for what the 3 leading entities have done?
You know, I am so thankful. I say thank you to the caddies in our group, to the grounds crew, to everybody. This is such a treat for us to be here, to be doing this at the level that we're doing it.
It's all expenses paid.
It's everything's covered.
Everything's covered, and
it's first class.
It's an amateur event, but it's professionally run to the highest standards. Here's Peterman at the 8.
Well, and it's not just the player. The quality of the play has gotten better. The quality of the golf course, the agronomy is amazing. Everything has improved dramatically in the 10 years, 11 years we've been doing this.
It's unbelievable.
Portledge from 55 yards, bringing it in low.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me, you know, 10 years ago that we'd be in Peru playing a perfect golf course, you know, I would say, you know, wow, you know, you're crazy. It's unbelievable.
Good news for Sparks, no tree issue, 61 yards, the ball really sitting down. Rich, you said earlier how he was the runner-up here in this championship a year ago. Spent some time with Patrick this week, and he really embraced the whole moment, realizing he could play at the highest level. And I caught up with Daniel Bowden, his coach from UNC Wilmington, who had nothing but high praise after Patrick got over the initial sting of not getting the job done. He realized just how important that performance was. And how about this as we watch Sparks? He said, success on the course does not define Patrick. Much like Scotty Scheffler, it's his superpower. He knows his self-worth and identity will never be tied to a number on a scorecard. Pretty high praise when you're comparing Patrick Sparks to Scotty Scheffler.
It's good stuff, Mirko. So look, we just talked about the condition of the golf course, how good it is. We had a chance earlier to go in depth with 2 people, 2 experts who are familiar with Lima Golf Club.
Hola, mi nombre es Giovanna Molina, yo soy superintendente de Lima Golf Club. Tengo 10 años trabajando aquí y estoy muy emocionada de estar en el LAC.
Darren Bouvard, Senior Director of Championship Agronomy for the United States Golf Association. It's my job to work with Joanna to determine grass cutting heights, green speeds, all of the different parameters of the setup of the golf course. This is the CDX moisture meter, part of the Deacon Tools package from the USGA. It measures volumetric water content, basically, and it's pretty simple. Just stick it in the ground and push the button, and it gives you a reading on the screen to tell you the soil moisture, 27.4%, Joanna, by the way. And as we go around, it just provides an average for the whole green, but it also, if there's a spot where the moisture is very low, we know we need to add water there. And it varies from golf course to golf course. It's not numbers that you can just say, oh, you need to be at this number, because it's based on a lot of other maintenance practices that are implemented in addition to just watering.
Eventualmente nosotros para medir la velocidad usábamos 3 bolas para poder hacer la medición de los greens. Ahora solamente necesitas esta bola y tiene un sensor, bueno, muchos sensores. Hacemos una... y luego hacemos la medición del otro lado. Luego de esto, tenemos el dato en el teléfono. Bueno, nada, es una herramienta muy fácil para poder aprender, para poder recolectar mucha data, para tomar decisiones, para poder ver en grande cuál ha sido el progreso de la velocidad en los greens y principalmente para poder tomar números y tener data objetiva de cada una de nuestras superficies de juego, ¿no?
The quality of the turf professionals here is second to none. Fortunately, here at Lima Golf Club, they have all of the tools and all of the resources, which makes it a real pleasure to prepare for the championship.
Yeah, Darren does such a great job all over the world, Joanna, and then we have to acknowledge Martin Ordonez, who's the head greenskeeper here at Lima Golf Club.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job. The course is absolutely perfect. Players have said, just raved about it. Another really, really good pitch shot from around these greens. I thought this would be the most difficult part of the week, getting the ball up and in from off the edges and stuff, and they made it look easy.
Bolsini.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gets him to 1 under. 4 bogeys in the front.
And Sparks down 14.
Yeah, paying the price after missing the fairway with his tee shot. This is third.
Very happy with that one. But he is at least putting up the hill to the end of the green. Be very aggressive.
It's amazing to watch from the booth, guys. You know, he looks like he's played the worst out of that group, and he's tied for the lead. Obviously, he's got to make a big par putt now, but it's amazing.
A little bit of deceleration in that bunker shot.
Omar Tejera.
He is rolling him in right now.
Where the mid-am ranks are competitive these days. Correct.
You give us a short course where, or a shorter course where you don't have to bomb at 330, man. We can still play.
Portledge at 14 to get to 2 under.
Yeah, quick one for birdie. Got to watch the pace.
He just has hammered it by. It's almost as far as he just started.
I found it really hard to putt from off the greens, Andy. It's really hard to get the speed right. Been kind of chipping him off.
Mateo at 15. Sparks, 14.
Trying to stay at 4 under.
Good run at it, but unfortunately a bogey. Tee shot got him there, and that's a shortish hole that he's going to kick himself. He could, I mean, it's a hole he could hit 2-iron wedge.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't get the driver play here. You have a 50-yard pitch to a green that's not that deep. I just, I don't know. That's what I mean.
Because we're old guys. That's how we used to try to play, right?
Tejera at the 9.
207 yards today. Penley area over the right.
Yeah.
You know you can't go right, so your tendency is you're going to pull it a little bit. It goes further when you pull it, and now you've got himself in a position that getting it up and in is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's a really hard up and down from that side.
Yeah, that's
Kick himself on the way to the next tee.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just a mistake on that first putt. And I agree. I mean, I grew up with the Ray Floyds and the Hubert Greens of the world that would chip the ball from 2 feet off the green. You'd never hit a chip shot that far by the hole. As you're saying, the ball comes out of the fringe a little bit weird.
Yeah, there's a couple different grasses on the fringes, and it really doesn't roll well through them.
And Andy, you said it a short time ago, these last 5 holes, this could be an indication of what we're going to see on the weekend with the championship on the line.
I know if you were sitting in the clubhouse finished and somebody had to par 17 and 18, you'd have a bottle of champagne already open, because there's no way under that pressure.
You know what, Andy, you just mentioned a couple of old school legends. These kids will go forward with all the latest technology and data, but you know what will never go out of style is the kind of irascible toughness that Hubert Green and Raymond Floyd, keep going. There's the long list of guys from your era, the kind of toughness that they had and that you need.
Well, we've talked about this quite a bit on air over the years, that swinging the golf club and making beautiful swings isn't all what this game is. It's figuring out a way for you to play the most important thing you can learn in this game is you. If you can control you understand how you're going to operate under pressure.
Oh boy.
But I think we're going to see some of those this week. You know, a little bit of grain. You're trying to maybe hit him a little bit firmer than you'd like, but that's disappointing. You work so hard to get where you need to be, and then you give on a hole that he could have thrown it and done better than 6. But we talked about earlier how firmly he hits these short putts. Then if you don't catch the dead center, you're going to have a spin on once in a while.
What you guys do, you're running hot. You made a terrible mistake. What do you guys do? What you do, Andy? What do you do when you're trying to calm yourself down?
Ask Andy. He's won a couple US Opens, man.
You know, I tried to make sure I didn't start doing things too fast. So I would actually really try to walk as slow as I could, you know, as slow as I could. Because once you get hot, if you add going fast to it, you're done. You're absolutely done.
Yeah, for me, it's breathing. You know, if I'm running a little hot, I just really want myself to breathe deep and slow, and that kind of slows my pace down, my thinking down, everything down.
Get our last thing. Just how much you love this championship.
It's incredible. It's the camaraderie between the players, getting to meet, the guys, the members of the Masters, hanging out with you two, guys I've seen for 10 years are still coming. It's awesome.
You know what? I will say one of the best things, I think Andy probably agrees in this 11th year, is to have become friends with you. We've enjoyed it. Geronimo, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Go get him tomorrow.
Get it done tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank
player
you, guys.
to player. Aaron Jarvis, past champ, is with us next from the wonderful city of Lima, Peru. Good stuff, Toaster. Very good. He's great.
Sheeny at the 14th after driving it right in the middle of the fairway perfectly.
125 yards. That flag just 4 paces from the right edge. This is a nice flighted shot. What a beautiful control there.
Take you back, teeth of the dog. 2022 Latin American Amateur Championship. Aaron Jarvis, clutch late, round of his life. 69, including a birdie on the 72nd hole. Good enough for a one-stroke victory. Aaron becoming the first player from the Cayman Islands to play in the Masters, the Open. Played very well at that Open Championship, the old course at St. Andrews. Is with us in the booth, Aaron Jarvis. So 7 under par to win at the Pete Dye Masterpiece. 19 years old at the time. He was well down in the world rankings. We all know who he is now. Aaron Jarvis is with us in the booth. Good to see you. How you doing, Aaron?
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Doing well.
1 over 71 today?
Yes, sir.
Not too bad. As we watch Sparks, just curious, you watch those highlights, you know, how's it hit you all these years later that you won and experience of a lifetime to go play Masters in the Open?
Yeah, it feels good to be out here again for another year. It's the first time in Peru, and I think this course is very different to what we've been playing the last few years. Greens are firm and rough to stick out there. And yeah, I had a solid day. I mean, I short-sided myself a couple of times, but I managed to nearly have a hole-in-one on the 9th today.
What'd you hit there?
I hit a smooth 7-iron. I thought it was going in, but...
How many aces have you made in your life?
One. I was 14 years old.
Okay.
But that's a darn good, that's a hard shot with a tough pin placement today. You handle it beautifully. You know, go ahead.
No, how's your brother playing?
I think he's 1 over 2.
Okay.
He made a kind of a stupid double on 2 today, but then he made a bunch of pars. He made a birdie, so he's hanging in there.
It's a family affair, right? So your pop is out here, and we love your dad, Rob, and Uncle Tony's here. Right?
Uncle Alex.
Uncle Alex. My bad. Uncle Alex. Uncle Alex. He caddied for.
Yeah, he's been caddying for Andrew the past. He started in Puerto Rico in 2023, and he's done it the last few years, so he loves it.
What do you think of this? 13 years old, Luca Peterman.
Crazy. I mean, I think Justin was 14 when he went to Chile, and now we have a 13-year-old, and he's doing well so far, and he just needs to enjoy the experience and take as much out of it as he can.
Two over in the first 9 holes. That's amazing. 13-year-old under this environment.
Justin, you referenced, is the 2025 Latin American Amateur Champion, Justin Hastings, now professional. Now Quiroga to get to 2 under.
Straight up the hill, not a ton of movement.
You see a lot of quizzical looks on players' faces this week. The greens are not easy to putt. There's enough grain in them. But they're beautiful surfaces. If you get the right line, you're going to make some putts here. Just saw Sparks miss a fairly short one. I think you're going to have to pay close attention. These 2 and 3 footers. There's just enough grain to make you worry about them. Most of these players don't think about missing 2 and 3 footers like some of those older guys, Rich.
Young nerves to that long putter these days. Now Teo at 16, Peruvian.
This is going to be a really slow putt up the hill into the grain. You see where it turns to a darker color. That means the grain now is coming this way. Really tough to get into the hole. He took literally a full swing on that one.
Back at 15, this is Portledge. What kind of player is Eric Portledge?
He's good as you're going to
find.
Yeah,
he's a great player. I mean, he's a young gun in college, learning each and every year, and I think he's had success in this tournament the past few years. Top 10s, top 15s. I'm not sure if he's a sophomore or he might be a freshman in college, right? So he's got plenty of time to develop his game.
Good swing. It's a nice looking swing.
Efficient.
Yes.
Great swing.
From 118.
Surely looks the part.
Yeah. You just finished up SMU?
Yes, sir.
Got your degree?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And what's planned for you?
Yeah, just honestly might turn pro after this and do PGA America's qualifier, Q school, and kind of the other Q schools going forward, and just take it one step at a time and learn each and every day.
Sparks from 117, ball sitting down, could get it to the right front part of the green.
That was a nice play out of there, able to run it all the way up there, get it hole high. That was well done. Playing in this tournament, delay, maybe turning pro.
I mean, for sure. I mean, winning it my freshman year, then I had 4 years after that. I was like, maybe I should have just turned pro right after, so through college. But no, it was nice to graduate from SMU and have that in the back of my bag if I ever need it. But yeah, it was a good experience playing.
Well, you made the cut. The Open at St. Andrews.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Who'd you play with that week?
I played with Sergio and Stuart Sink. We had a great time out there.
Tough pairing, a couple of major Open champions.
Yeah, it was funny because Sergio, I sat with him at the amateur dinner at Augusta, and I played a practice round with him at Augusta, and then I got paired with him at the Open, so it was kind of cool. We had a good time.
You're playing with a couple of major champions. Were there times where you said, I have enough game? And conversely, were there other times that, man, I don't quite have that? So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely parts of your game you're like, okay, I can compete with these guys, and then there's definitely other parts where it's like, okay, they are by far better than, say, when it comes to like distance control with wedges or how they manage themselves on the golf course. You definitely learn a thing or two out there. And
when Rory hits one of those 4 or 5 irons that goes 8 miles high and comes down like a butterfly, right?
Yeah, then you're just like, okay, I got some work to do.
It's like, let's go to the range.
Yeah.
I mean, look, playing in the Open, playing with Sergio and Stuart.
That's great.
You know, that seemed to be obvious, the impact on your life. But it was Patrick Sparks and all these other guys are trying to get where you were. How was it life-changing? We always say, how was it life-changing for you?
I mean, to get to play, like I said, 2 majors at 19, it just changes your whole life, and it's something that I'll take forward I'll remember it for the rest of my life, right? Just memories to share forever, and I think it just kind of changes your perspective on golf and your takeaway, because we're so grateful for this event each and every year, the opportunity for smaller countries to kind of get the opportunity to play, and obviously we have 2 Cayman winners in the last 5 years, so
it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
To put this in perspective, how many holes of golf are in the Cayman Islands?
27 holes.
Okay, now think about that. You got two winners of this event out of 27 holes. That's absolutely amazing.
It's mind-blowing. Hopefully in the near future we can get another golf course built, but we're grateful for what we have, you know, with the guys at the Ritz-Carlton, Tim and Steve, and North Sound as well, and our golf association for doing the most they can to kind of help us out. But hopefully in the future we can kind of get a proper 18-hole golf course out there.
I know your brother, by the way, shot 58. Was it last year?
Yeah, he shot 58. Justin shot 57. I haven't gotten in the 50s yet. Hopefully soon, but it could be some shootouts back home for sure.
All right, now Sparks for birdie to get it to 3 under.
Uphill putt, Rich should move to his left.
It's just over the crest of the hill, and here it's coming down. Just about as well as you can do from down there.
Bolsini now for birdie at the 14th. You know anything about this young man?
I know that he played college golf. I'm not sure if he's still in college or not, but I know he's a very solid player. I believe he transferred to the University of Arkansas, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, overall, his game looks pretty solid. And it's 2 under par so far through 14. And, scores are definitely a little higher than last year, for sure. So yeah.
Enjoying Lima?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's so different to, you know, all the other places we've been to. It's kind of, some tee shots, it's kind of chaotic. There's buses and everything going past and stuff. So.
It's right in the heart of the city. That's one thing you talk about, how it impacts your life. I think all the players, whether they won it or not, would agree it's where this game takes you. Think about where you've been at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I've been all over the world just because of golf, right? And we're so grateful for that, whether I play in the future or not, competitively or for fun. You know, I'm forever going to be grateful for where the LAC has taken us in other tournaments as well around the world.
And the people you've met.
Yeah, the
young and old. I mean, you guys are,
yeah.
I always think one of the great parts about junior golf, amateur golf at a young age is that you're interacting in a grown-up world. You guys were in ties and coats last night.
Yeah.
Mixing it up with all the important people.
As you're growing up as a junior player, so many of the guys you like to play golf with are the older guys because they're better. So you end up having a whole generation of friends that aren't your generation.
Brothers, look at this, Andy. Huh? About this. But I've gotten to know you guys, and you two are tight. We see Felipe and Mateo, and you and your brother are great together.
Yeah, we get along. We play a bunch of golf together and do other stuff in the island as well. We've always had a good relationship, and he got me started in the game of golf through the Caribbean Championships, and and I got hooked because of that. So very grateful for
What do you
that.
think of what the Masters RNA and USGA are doing in this part of the world? What do you think?
It's great. I mean, we're so thankful for it. I mean, without then this thing, the LAC wouldn't be a thing, right? So we're forever grateful for each and every LAC in America that gets played, and hopefully there can be many more to come.
We sure has had a lot of fun over the last 11 years doing these, and great venues, and a lot of cool guys we've got a chance to meet. So it's been really a pleasure.
It's been great just to see you guys enjoy it every year, coming down to different Latin countries and Caribbean countries.
We had some laughs last night, didn't we?
Yeah, that was fun.
We had some laughs.
That was good. That was a cool sight too.
Yeah, it was great. The welcome reception. It's nice to see you guys ties and coats. You probably don't get a tie and coat, what, 3-4 times a year at the most?
Maybe less. Yeah.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does feel good. I can't lie.
Sparks, go ahead and clean up his par in the last hole. Yeah, the 16th hole is a really neat, shorter par 4. It's all about the tee shot. You can hit it down here just short of this bunker with some kind of iron or utility maybe. Then it goes into a real low area. Then you've got 305 yards to carry it all the way in the top. Some of the longest hitters can carry it up on that top. When they do that, they can get the ball down there 60, 70 yards from the green. But I think we'll see some players actually lay up there and keep it on the fairway. Fairway's a little bit wider, short of that bunker, and I think that's a smart play, particularly with a tough hole location like today. You need to be playing out of the fairway.
Skiazzaron.
Did you handle that one okay today?
Yeah, I hit 3-wood today. Probably was not the right club. I was just it's either driver or like a 4-iron, so I don't know. I was just feeling 3-wood, but I managed to get in a good spot and made a good par.
This fairway down in that low area is probably only 12 or 13 yards wide. I mean, you literally have to walk single file going through there.
Carlos can play.
He's got it way up there. He's hit a couple of pulls so far today where it's just a little bit out of sync, but you can see when he gets going, boy, he looks good. And what a growth he's had from a playing standpoint the last couple of years. I really do like this play. It gives the player a lot more room to play. Just put it in the fairway. Just barely in the rough, unfortunately. That was right in. Probably won't happen. Here's a look at it. Really drives his legs, settles down into it, gets into his left side really well. Stays down, really extends through it.
Sparks hit driver on 14, and where I'm standing, it looks like he's got it again, Andy.
He surely does. Yes, it carried over all the way up in the 305-yard range. The fairway gets a little bit wider up there.
Look, he's played this golf course more than anyone in this field, so he's comfortable and confident in his selections.
I still think by the end of the week, the more fairways you can hit, the better chance you're going to be to doing what you need to do this week.
I completely agree.
Pulcini now at 15.
128 yards for Pulcini. Second hole in a row where he's been the only one in the fairway. As a result, he can go right at this one.
He did.
Oh, by the way, just came off of making a birdie from the fairway. He's got another good look at it.
He was a 3-time Division II All-American at Oklahoma Christian. Yeah, those are the most prized trophies in the sport. Inspiring a whole new generation.
Let's go back and join Luca Peterman. 2 over par on the first 9. A long second into the 10th. 449 yards today. He's getting up there around the front part of the green. Well done. He doesn't have the firepower of probably most of the other players in this field, but he's done great so far. Yeah, Aaron, you've played a lot of golf with these guys. Who jumps out to you on the leaderboard you've got to watch out for?
I mean, I definitely think Sparks for sure, just because of the week he had last year, and it's his home course this week, so definitely look out for him throughout the 4 days. Jose Antonio Safa is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a very long time. This game's in good form. I'm actually playing with him. I played with him today and tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, all these guys are very good golfers, and
Gabriel really can play too.
Yeah,
can
he has a great swing and very consistent. So I mean, whoever can put together a solid 4 days will give themselves a good chance.
I think what's always important is that, you know, you've got the favorites, you know, which, you know, we can make up a bunch of names, but when you get as a favorite, you get through the first day and you're still in good position. You shoot, it doesn't have to be at the lead, but you're even par or 1 under, 2 under, you're still there. That really is important, not to shoot yourself out of it right away.
For sure, and I think, you know, when you come to Saturday, your game plan can change, and then you can go out and fire some birdies and get right back up there. So I think, just like you said, putting yourself in good position after 2 days is all you need to do.
It has been a great start to the first round of the 11th playing of the Latin American Amateur Championship. We're at Lima Golf Club for the very first time in the capital city of Peru. 4 under is leading. Benedetti just 16 from Venezuela, and then Andy Schoenbaum 34 actually works for the R&A out of their offices in Argentina, helping to grow the sport across this great region. We're live at the 16th hole. Eric Fortledge
going to be playing from 125. The lie is good. Ball slightly below his feet.
It's just a little bit unfortunate the ball trucked into the rough with his back left hole location. You got to be really careful. You carry it up around that hole. There's a good chance without a ton of spin on this, it can go over the green. But it'll be hard to get it close if you land up short of that ridge, because the ball's probably not going to release up that ridge. So this is not an easy shot, even though it's with a gap wedge.
But Andy, it goes back to the point you shared a few minutes ago. Play from the fairway, you'll increase the chances you'll have over 4 days to make birdie.
I think that's particularly important this week. You know, analytics has become a big driver of how players play the game in today's world. I still think there's a place for playing maybe a little longer shot from the fairway. That's just kind of what you expected might happen, just kind of running through the green. But that was a good play just to get in that upper deck.
Now Sparks, 93, ball sitting down in a lot of grass behind the ball, Andy. So a good tee shot. That was maybe a yard or two from being in A1 position. 20 feet from here seems like a reasonable play.
I think coming if the ball is sitting down enough, maybe you can land it short and let it release.
Got to go.
Came up dead. Now he's got a really, really hard bunker shot. He's going to have to carry it all the way up over that ridge. That'll be one of those 30-yard shots that are so difficult.
Carlos could not have walked it out here any better. Forward left-hand side of the fairway, great angle, 82 yards all the way back.
He's all the way up on that top level, which really changes how you can approach this hole. He should be able to carry it all the way up on that back ridge and stop it.
Bringing this one in low.
They knew it right away. There's so much grain. It's just hard to scoot it all the way up there. Really do love how the R&A and the USGA have set this golf course up this week. They've really given the kids a great opportunity to see what a championship golf course setup is. A lot of holes, 3 and 4 from the edges. You know, some really awkward spots to get to. But welcome to championship golf.
Greg Sanfilippo, entire crew. Superb job.
All right. Now Mr. Peterman pitching in from the front portion of the green. And well done. His short game has been right on. He probably didn't like that one. Most of us being very happy.
Let's see, need to get to 3 under. Finally within a shot of the lead.
I like the way he's been going about his business. Got a little bit unfortunate that one didn't stay in line, but it looks like he's in complete control of what he's trying to do.
25 years old, already has the look and bearing of a guy a bit older than that. And so Casa de Campo 3 times, expect to go back in the coming years. Argentina, the most developed, historically significant golf country in the region twice, including last year. Been to Panama and have loved it on a couple of occasions. Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Chile. So the idea is to take it around the region.
Well, I think it's not just, but before we get to that, this is ugly.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse.
Not bad at all getting out of there. That's one of those that can come out and go about 5 feet, just kind of pops up in the air. But the fact that they're moving this all around, Rich, I think is really important. Not only the opportunity for the countries to do it, but to expose the people in that country to great golf, and particularly the younger kids to get a chance to see these great players play and maybe get them excited about playing.
It has become a big deal in the Latin region, is the opportunity to host. Countries are lined up, they need to have the infrastructure, they need to have the resources, they need to demonstrate the commitment, which they've done here in Peru.
And I think one of the other things that they've done a great job of, they've had sites where hotels were on property or right so close that the players could walk, so that you're in control of your schedules. You can go practice if you want to go. Maybe late in the afternoon you want to go hit putts for half an hour. You can do that here.
It's a good setup, isn't it, here in Peru?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the hotel's
right down the street.
Right down the street, and in the past few years we've stayed on property. So like, yeah, if you want to go hit extra putts or do whatever, you have the opportunity to do that. So it's been pretty good.
It's a really cool club, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Lima
great.
Golf Club.
Yeah, it feels very old school as well.
Exactly.
But it's a great test of golf.
Castiazarone for birdie.
Longer birdie putt than he would have imagined after that tee shot.
Beautiful judgment of speed coming up over that hill with the change in grain. That's not easy to pick out the right speed.
Luca Peterman, 13 years old, youngest player of the field.
A little bit too much speed.
Where were you in golf when you were 13, Aaron?
I guess somewhere back home, just
starting out.
Yeah, just starting out, playing some Caribbean junior tournaments and trying to get up to Florida to play a couple of other tournaments up there. But I mean, the opportunity to play in Mille Lacs at 13 is a great opportunity.
We did an interview earlier that he sounded like he was 25 years old. It was great. Oh, shoot.
I definitely think when you're young, 13 or 12, and you play with tournaments like this, you mature a lot faster and you learn so many things. And we were grateful to play with older people when we were young back home, and that helped us out a lot too.
It all comes so quickly in junior golf. You're struggling to break 80 1 week, and then it could be 4 months later you're shooting 70. I mean, you can get good in a hurry.
Well, you put the work in, and it's really neat to see the results of that work. And you'll go along where you have a kind of a ceiling, and maybe you've never broken 80. And then also one day you not only break 80, you shoot 75. It's like, whoa, what did I just do? And it changes your whole world.
You wake up one day and you're suddenly pretty long off the tee.
Oh yeah.
You're 15, 16.
But then it goes the other way later on, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, Teo to stay at 1 under here at 17. He came out of that one just a bit. What do you think of the 17th hole? You get a lot of buzz.
I birdied 17 today, so I mean, it's a hard hole. I mean, if you miss the fairway, you're most likely
You cut the shot in the
probably
field,
gonna lay up.
but cut the field by a shot and a half at least.
Oh yeah. I mean, I hit A1 driver and hit an 8 iron to 6 feet. That makes it a lot easier, but it's a very challenging hole if you can't get in the fairway.
If you drive in the rough there, you almost can't go at the green. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of players lay up this week.
For sure, and just give yourself a good wedge shot and opportunity for
par. You played a lot of tournaments, leads 4 under par. Any sense as to where the winning score might end up?
Honestly, I don't think it will be. I think it will be hanging around 6 or 7. I think the weekend they'll make it harder. The greens will get more firm. I think they'll put harder pins out there. So I could be wrong, but that's what I see as a player. So yeah, we'll see.
I think it's going to be really difficult to shoot 4 really good rounds. I think this is a golf course you maybe go 66, 67 2 days in a row, then it'd be easy to throw a 72 or 3 in there.
I completely agree. I mean, it's just a great setup, and it's if you get out of position, you can make a bogey pretty easily.
So we are coming up top of the hour. It is 4 o'clock. We are in the Eastern time zone, no different than New York. And it is great to be in the Southern Hemispheres, along the coast, the Pacific Ocean, the Latin America Amateur Championship, 11th edition. We're at Lima Golf Club, which goes back to 1924, tucked right in the heart of the famous San Isidro district in this vibrant city. There's an awful lot on the line for these 108 amateurs. Invitation to the Masters spots in the U.S. Open and the 154th Open, which will be played at Royal Birkdale. The Amateur Championship at Liverpool. The U.S. Amateur is being played at Marion.
What a summer of great golf courses.
Aaron Jarvis, past winner of the Latin America Amateur Championship, has joined us in the booth. He knows what it's like to have played in the Masters and the Open. He made the cut in 2022 at the Open at St. Andrews, the home of golf, playing with major champions Sergio Garcia and Stuart Singh. So you can give voice to it. It is a life-changing experience. Good to have you in the booth with us, and it's been fun. And a reasonably solid day, 71 on a difficult golf course. You're certainly not out of this.
No, I think if I can go out there and keep plotting away and give myself good look for birdies and just take it one hole at a time, I think I can put myself in a good position. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
You've been great. Thank you. There's a look down the 17th. Then Aaron made birdie today. So not many of those. All about the tee shot. Big trees.
It's a tee shot that kind of forced to hit it right to left. And Carlos is somebody who predominantly likes to move the ball from left to right.
If you're a player that likes to cut the ball, there's a huge tree down the left-hand side that is really in the way. I would think that this would be one that you want to hit it as low as you possibly could to make sure that it stays underneath the canopy. So the big tree on the right, the big tree on the left, they move the tee up about 15 yards today, which makes it easier to get past those trees.
It's about the only easy thing on this hole, playing the second hardest hole today.
Bunker on the right, cannot hit it in that bunker. Probably go for the green. Playing over water. This is headed left. That's not good. The street is over there, out of bounds. 2 or 3 tee shots that went quite a bit left today.
Tratando de pegar un dron. Sí, en realidad el viento está un poquito así. Podría cerrar un poco.
Pressure's ramped up. It's a difficult tee shot. It's a really good finishing stretch here.
Yeah, I think anything on Sunday or late Saturday, anything could happen coming down the stretch of 17. 70s is such a hard hole, and you got to look at the table position. Yeah, it's definitely good just coming down the stretch.
For a player who likes to play the ball left to right, and now you're sort of forced to play it draw, that's really an uncomfortable situation.
This is marcadores.
That is just about that perfect. Excited. Goes about his business. I really do like what he does about it.
2 big tee shots coming in here, Andy, I believe, for Sparks, considering he missed the fairway at 14, 15, 16, both left and right.
And this is a hole that, you know, I thought, well, maybe you could hit drive. Maybe you could hit something short of the bunker in the right, but then you're left with 220. You probably can't keep it on the green. If you hit it in the back bunkers, you might be able to hit it in the penalty area in the front of the green from the bunkers. So you have to hit drive.
Bien, muy bien. Buen swing. La primera, ¿no? Con dos crucecitas azules, pero están medio idas ya. Y la segunda es un Timeless 2. Una línea verde y cruz verde.
Provisional here for Astudillo Road.
Now he's getting a notification from folks down the fairway that the ball is safe. So they're letting them know, multiple players, you do not need to hit a provisional.
Sometimes as a player, just go ahead and do it anyway, just to get a rhythm and a feel back. Get rid of that ugly swing. You don't ask them. You might see it, but you don't ask.
Tricks of the trade from a guy who knows. Sandy Miller, twice a U.S. Open champion. Now at 16, Restrepo.
Now this is a test of distance control for Restrepo. 95 yards back hole location with the drop behind the flag.
What a perfect tee shot that was. Carried it right on top of the ridge. Another foot or two, and it's right next to the hole, but still very makeable.
You can see in that technique, and he advanced even at 17. You can see why he's one of the hot junior players in the world, coming up the Junior Orange Bowl title. Yeah, buzzing here in Peru.
Yeah, we've got a couple players 4 under par, 66 great first rounds on a day that's been absolutely perfect. Mid 70s, not much breeze, a little bit of cloud cover so that it was not burning hot. Yesterday the sun broke through and it actually got quite warm in the afternoon. Now Colcini for birdie. Put up a little bit of a ridge into the green, and then it just softly flattens out. I've seen him hit a lot of really good putts that they just haven't gone in. That one, the grain got it at the end and it just went sideways. You see that so often as the ball slows down on these greens. The greens are absolutely beautiful putting surfaces. The ball rolls really well, but the grain really has quite a bit of pull in it.
Lima Golf Club in the capital city of Peru. Round one of the Latin American Championship. And better than being out of bounds. I guess that's the best we can say about this predicament here for Astudillo Road.
Yeah, the call from the fans was correct. He was safe once Carlos got up here, just a foot behind the tree. Lucky if he can advance it, the indication now he's going to take a drop. Because at best, he can maybe advance at 10, 15, 20 yards and still very likely be in the rough. So kind of using your head anyway. You don't want to give it away. Try to make 5 somehow.
After dropping it, still is not going to be great. It's still probably going to have to lay it up. So this will be a lot of work to say 5.
Estoy acá, pues. Puedo cambiar la bola.
just barely covering the water.
Deep breath. Just trying to hang on to the finish line here. He had it forward under par. Some oil late.
They do play ready golf, which I really do love. That if somebody's having to take a drop or something, somebody else can in and help speed the play up a little bit. I really love it.
The third fitness thing wasn't just trying to play and get up and down from the neighborhood about 180 yards. He's 224 from right.
All he can do, can't try to force something underneath the trees out of that rough. Leave it in the rough, then you've really got some problems. So he's going to have a lot of work to do here just to save bogey.
Now at 18, this is Teo.
Another great hole, 462 yards. Not as much trouble, but a big hole. That is a terrific shot to finish up the day.
Portledge.
Second on the way from 172, right at it.
What a fantastic shot. It's like somebody else hit it there.
That's pretty good. Get into red figures, a little momentum is dangerous. Back at 16, this is Restrepo.
Restrepo watched the putt from Pulcini be affected by the grain. Needs to play this one out farther to the left.
Wow. And even with that speed, it still really dove off at the end.
When Restrepo committed to Ole Miss, Nicolas Sasso, NCAA champion, will play the Masters as an amateur from Ole Miss. Astiazaron.
He's fourth from 189, and many locals told me this week players new to this course feel like it's straight downwind, but sometimes it works off the right. Let's see if he can figure it all out.
That thing is airborne. He's leaning and begging and hoping. You're thinking his tournament might be over. I mean, that was close to being a disaster. We'll come back to Lima in just a moment.
When I walked the course for the first time since 2019, this tee shot was very memorable, even though it played as a par 5 for me in American games. It was one of the critical shots of the tournament. Very narrow, you just have to hit a confident swing.
Ay, Mateito. ¿Qué hago, boludo?
Lost his balance just a little bit. That ball is well right. That just is an automatic layup. No way to go for this green two from there. Just a super difficult hole that there's no bailout. You've got to just stand up there and play the best shot you can play.
And when you get up to a difficult tee shot like the 17th, it's important not to force it. Remember, yes, it's a hard par 4, but you're playing against the field. This hole is playing over par. It's the second hardest hole on the golf course. If you hit a 4 tee shot, it's okay if you make bogey. You just can't miss it to the left and cost yourself a double bogey.
Sparks just barely cleared the water, but this for birdie.
another one of those slow into the grain putts. He struggled a little bit since he missed that short putt.
Mateo. It's at 18.
Hit it after that great second shot.
Stealing one from the field. It's the hardest hole in the course. Not bad. 17 and 18. Good start. Most difficult.
Even pars. Really nice start.
At 17.
This is Asti Azaran. He's 5th. And Andy, he's done a lot of good things today, other than the misstep at 9 where he ended up making double. He'll be thinking about the 17th if he doesn't get this down in 2.
So go hard left at the end to see if he's got the right speed on it. Oh, could he save one? What a putt. But a double bogey after the poor tee shot.
And you don't feel terrible with double. Strange game. 5 birdies,
2 doubles for him so far today.
That's indicative of what can happen here, Andy, at the golf club. We've seen you with Patrick Sparks. You had a little baby run. You made 3 birdies in a 4-hole stretch, but then it bites back.
You first walk on the golf course, you see the scorecard, you see all these 360 and 70-yard holes. Ah, this will be a piece of cake. Not the case.
Fortledge trying to do what Aaron Jarvis did this morning, birdie at 17.
Take 4 all day long. I know he's disappointed not making the birdie, but you walk off that green and a little exhale and all right, let's hit a good tee shot on the next one.
Aaron, what was the experience like playing the Masters?
It's incredible. I mean, it's like a kid in the candy store. You're out there, and I think the most shocking thing is like the first trip that you take out there. Because it's just you and say like your coach or whoever's going with you, and there's no one out there. It's you, your coach, and a caddy. You're just taking in the whole experience. And then you play with no fans, and then the week comes and you see thousands of people everywhere, and you just try and take it in every single day. And even when I made like mistakes out there, I still had a smile on my face.
Another tough bogey. Patrick Sparks has given it all back here on this second line. Did you play with Augusta National in the practice rounds and even the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, the tournament rounds I played with Zach Johnson and Steve Kim, and then practice rounds I got out with Adam Scott, John Ram, Sergio, and Joaquin Newman was one group. That was incredible. So yeah, I mean, and I played 9 holes with Koepka. That was pretty special as well. Just on the back 9, just me and him. So it was, it's almost like sometimes you're like a little nervous to ask these guys to play, but you gotta put yourself out there and just see if you can get.
How was Brooks that day?
Yeah, he was good. He had the mic thing on because they're doing the Netflix thing, but so I had to like watch myself a little bit. But nah, he's a great guy for sure.
What surprised you about Augusta? A lot of people say it's hillier than I thought. What surprised you, if anything?
Definitely the hills for sure, and how narrow it is compared to what you see. I think it's more narrow in person. Just the tee shots itself, and you got to hit the fairway, or else like you're in the trees and pine straw and whatnot. So, but just everything as well. Just first I walk properly, just like kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Big tee shot here at 18 for Sparks. We'll get back to that.
Wrights the bailout.
Lost his driver a little bit on this back 9. Just a couple of short putts. A lot of extra pressure on him this week. Coming off the great finish last year, he's kind of the favorite of the hometown folks. So let's see if he can figure out a way to make par here and get in with 70 and then get rebooted tomorrow. Another driving hole.
Reboot here, yeah. You don't want to start it left.
Another tough driving hole for a player that likes to cut the ball.
Started right and going further right. Way right.
This week, the Sony Open is going on in Hawaii, and the 18th hole there is a giant dogleg to the left. And if you're out, it's an impossible hole. So some of the guys that cut these in 3 woods at hole because it's a little bit easier to hit a straight curve to the left. That might not be a bad play here.
We're going to look at just how challenging this closing stretch is here at Lima Golf Club, tucked in the heart of the city, not too far from the Pacific. It is a surfing mecca. We're back with Aaron Jarvis, past winner, right after this.
Let's go down to the 17th hole, Amelia.
149 yards for Vicente Quiroga, and that was a 17-yard wide fairway. This flag is on the left side, wind out of the right. This drifting left of the flag, trying to stay on.
That stayed on beautifully. That was a really nice play. Any birdie putt on 17 is a good birdie putt. This is this cute little short par 3, 140 yards today. Hole cut right up against the left edge of the green. We've seen a lot of birdies. There's a tree kind of in the middle of the fairway that players play over the corner of. Now back to 17. Sempo's third shot.
Smart play for Restrepo. The ball was sitting down in the rough. He could have gone over the trees, just too risky with the penalty area in front. The key when you are laying up, hit it to a number you're comfortable with. This 90 yards.
Live at 17, third shot, Thomas Restrepo.
After the poor tee shot, played a nice layup, gave himself an opportunity to still make par.
Chesty little golf course. This is 40. Exacting in spots. 6,800 yards. We are the lead, sitting at 4. It's from the morning wave. Schoenbaum 34. Benedetti 16. Wide range. Oldest ever champ is Alvaro Ortiz, was 23 back in 2019, and the youngest, Paul Chapman, was 16 back in 2016. Now Abad here at 7th. Abad made an ace earlier today.
It's not an ace, but it's a birdie opportunity.
Yes, all right. And you made the ace as well. Huh? One ace in your life? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, just one. Yeah,
One
yeah,
ace.
yeah. Nearly 2 today.
Rafael Abad, 4th hole here at Lima. You almost made. Well, you came within inches today. I mean, that was
close.
I mean,
4th hole's a tough par 3 to make ace there. You'd think maybe 7 would be the place you'd make it.
Geronimo was in the booth, and he made one last year at Pilar. The year before that, Santa Maria in Panama. And now, let's see what Stiazaron can do. But first, it is Sportlich.
Lie was awful from 169.
Did just advanced at 50, 60 yards, still in the rough.
lie, not any better for Asti Azaran. He's just going outside, sideways down the fairway of another hole.
So he is now in the 10th fairway, I believe.
Correct.
Thank you, Burko. I mean,
Sparks, it's not a break in the dirt area around one of these trees. Great lie, 155, can bring a low one from right to left.
This is what these last 2 holes can bring. If you don't drive the ball in the fairway, there's a really good chance you're going to play him 2, maybe 3 over par.
No doubt, Andy. I was thinking the same thing. We're with 3 of the best in the field here this week. It's Thursday afternoon. Could you imagine trying to finish off a championship of this magnitude?
Yeah, nerves are going crazy or just hanging on for dear life. Here's a great look from behind, playing out of that dirt area.
You think back to your win in 2022. How did you handle the nerves late?
It's tough. You just have to go through your process and definitely have a breathing routine, because you can get ahead of yourself and, you know, want to hit the shot quick or walk faster and stuff like that. So you got to be aware of what you're doing, and hopefully if you have a good caddy, then that can help you as well. But definitely take it slow and not like play slow, but definitely be aware of how you're feeling.
Now Asti Azaran is 3rd from the 10th fairway in the neighborhood of 135 yards. Trees should not pose an issue.
Location's right over that cart in the distance.
Good shot.
He didn't love it. Not too bad. Lick his chops when this one's all over. Those wounds.
This group is all good. He's some shots away. Another 30 shot into this par 4. That's difficult.
Saying that too much. 71 yards still from the rough. Can see a good bit of ball on the other side of the fairway. So see if Eric can find a way to finish with a 4.
It's difficult hole. Only 1 birdie.
Can't stop her from there, Andy.
He thought he played the perfect shot. Tough call.
Good day for Schoenbaum, Benedetti's, good day for Lima Golf Club.
Yeah, it's really showed itself well. I love courses that there are opportunities to make birdies, there's opportunities to make bogeys, and you have to figure it all out. And I think the guys will do better as the week goes on, because this is not an easy course to learn, and I'm sure very few players played 3 practice rounds.
Quiroga. He is committed to play college golf in Eastern Michigan. The fertile ground, recruiting ground for college coaches. Well over half the field currently or formerly playing college golf in America.
I think the number is actually 71 out of 108, which is amazing. What great opportunities for so many of the young players down here.
Pablo Lacayo. And for more on Pablo, let's bring in John Sutcliffe.
Rich, I think golf can teach you many lessons. It can knock you out and you have to get up. Pablo Lacayo is a prime example. Last year in Buenos Aires, the first round he shot an 89. He actually had 5 out of bounces on a par 5 for a 17. The next day he finished the tournament with a 69. Last year he's gone to the LAC Academy at Teeth of the Dog, trying to get back to battle. He's out there again, trying to be maybe the first Nicaraguense to make the cut in this tournament. So Pablo, it doesn't matter if you have a 17. It's about getting up y pelear. Fight, fight, and fight.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I mean, 89 to 69. I mean, you have a story like that? I think everybody probably does. You played the game long enough.
Anybody who's ever played this game has done stuff like that, that you make 10s and 11s on holes. Like, you know, your friends at home are laughing at you because, you know, anybody can do that. Well, yeah.
You have a story? Anybody have something similar in an event?
I mean, I'm sure I have something for sure. It's not coming to my mind, but I think we've all been there for sure. So.
Sparks. You know, I think about Curtis Strange at the Masters opening in 80 years ago, and but for the mistake at 13 on Sunday, he might be in the green jacket. He fought all the way back. Now Restrepo for par at 17.
This would be an unbelievable save if you could do it.
We came on air, guys were chipping in, they were holding shots, but right now Lima Golf Club is winning. Here's Fortledge for par 18.
Yeah, they're trying to roll up their sleeves and get it done.
Super fast coming down the hill, down green.
He's got one of those left, Andy.
Yeah, that's not what you want to finish on. Little slider from about 3.5 feet. Game teaches you a lot of lessons, and if you can just keep grinding away and grinding away, then welcome to life. You got to do it every day.
But you were all about grinding. You don't win 2 U.S. Opens, particularly the way they set them up back in your day, without grinding out pars and grinding out bogeys. I think when you won at Cherry Hills, it was a bogey on the final hole.
Well, when you're not very good, you got to grind pretty hard.
You win 2 U.S. Opens. You're great. Astiazaron.
Trying to save his par, Andy. If you're Carlos and you're thinking tonight how to play 17 and 18 the rest of the week, what would you say? How would you maybe change the game plan?
Well, you know, for a guy who likes to cut the ball as much as he does, maybe a 3-wood off of either one of those tees would be helpful. Or you come up with, do you have a go-to shot? You know, maybe tee at a 1/4 of an inch off the ground and kind of just hit a semi-stinger drive or just something to get it in play. You have to be a great player in this game, you have to have something you can rely on when you've got a hole that's really tough, or, you know, you're just trying to make a par. That's all you need to do in this hole is make a par. So how can you best do it?
Yeah, Carlos was 4 under heading to the tee at 9, ends up shooting even par on the day.
Yeah, that's tough, but lessons learned. 3 over the last 2 holes. Tomorrow might make 2 birdies. You never know. That's the beauty of this game.
Sparks now for par on the same number, even par 70.
He really needs to make a putt. He's had a miserable back 9 putting. Yeah, that'll
Need that.
He needed that one. Big difference between even par and 1 over when you had it 4 under at one time.
Poured over the last 5 holes, the double at 14, just a couple of shorties.
Driver really got him in trouble in the back 9.
Home cooking.
And by the way,
his own bed tonight.
By the way, the food is unbelievable down here.
Some of the greatest restaurants in the world are here in Lima. Bogey putt, Fortledge.
Leaked it in. Well done. It's in. That's why that's round. So this whole group probably all going to be a little disappointed having dinner tonight, but they're still in really good shape. You know, to be disappointed and still be in the top 15 is a nice place to be.
Just want to go back to Augusta. We saw, you know, the pictures of Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler just a moment ago. Always ask people who've been there, what was your favorite hole? What'd you love?
I would say 12. Mainly because I did birdie it both days, so it leaves. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely up there, but I think 18 is really cool, just to shoot, you know, with the trees lining it. But I'd say 12 for sure.
You see the great major champions from a year ago. Spawn, I thought, hit 3 of the greatest shots in championship history at Oakmont. Drove the green at 17, the drive at 18, then the 64-footer. Scotty at Portrush, and then Peter Rory winning the Masters and completing a career Grand Slam, and what I think as time goes by will be regarded as one of the greatest and most consequential majors in history. And here we are, Lima, Peru. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Yeah. Last year in Argentina, Justin Hastings turned 36 holes in one day into a dream. 64-72 on Saturday due to weather, which was pending coming in on Sunday, so they finished it up on Saturday. He became the second from the Cayman Islands to win the Latin America Amateur Championship behind the guy in our booth right now, Aaron Jarvis. That was in 2022. And what would follow for Justin, obviously a life-changing experience.
Your beady eye on him is a favorite into the weekend for sure.
To finish it off, Cayman Islands has another winner. Justin Hastings survives a marathon day.
I grew up a huge Masters nut. To be sitting here in this position and think that I'm going to be in that field is something I don't think has quite hit me, but man, am I excited for it.
The Board of Governors of the Augusta National Golf Club cordially invites you to participate in the 2025 Masters Tournament to be held at Augusta, Georgia.
Did you accept it?
I did. I accept.
Getting that invite was the biggest moment where I was just like, whoa, this is gonna happen.
You know, you pull up to the driving range and you're hitting balls beside Rory McIlroy.
How's things going, bud?
I'm sure it never gets old, hey?
No,
this place?
No, it's the 21st time.
That's unreal.
How old are you?
21.
Is this your first Masters?
Yeah.
Same.
I feel like I've been given an unbelievable opportunity, and I think I'm ready to go out there and hopefully take advantage of it.
Justin Hastings of the Cayman Islands.
On the tee from the Cayman Islands, Justin Hastings.
That's a beauty.
perfect tee shot. Cayman Islands only got 27 holes of golf, and they've got somebody playing in the Open Championship. Isn't that amazing?
Justin Hastings out of San Diego State, Latin America, amateur champion.
Apparently, when his last few rounds as an amateur. What a way to spend it.
The Latin American Amateur, I couldn't be more grateful for what that's done for me. It's achieved a lifelong dream.
Aaron, that had to give you chills watching that, taking you back to the similar experience. You know, he made the cut at the U.S. Open, you made the cut at the Open. Two of you from the Cayman Islands. That's special.
Yeah, I think we share something special in common, and our relationship has always been great from young. Obviously, we grew up playing together from we were 10, 11 years old, and to experience his win last year was pretty cool for both myself and Andrew as well. And it definitely hopefully shines another, the youth coming up in Cayman to kind of inspire them to get involved with the game.
And Andrew, you referenced that's your brother who's out there right now. Look at Rossini getting on his left side. Yeah.
Coming out of the rough, you have no idea what it's going to do. We've seen balls come out dead, did not go anywhere, and that one jumped.
Let's go back down to John.
Thank you, Rich. Patrick, what went through your mind when you were teeing off in your own country in this tournament? Take us to that moment.
Yeah, it was great to finally be home for the LAC. We waited for it in 2021. It's been 5 years, so I was very excited, very proud to be able to tee off in an event this big in my hometown.
Lima Golf has been playing tough. Tell me what you were talking with your caddy on the 18th hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely playing harder than we're used to. I mean, we were 4 under at one point in the round, and then all of a sudden we're back at even par, and you start to think like what happened, and it's the roughs. I mean, the roughs are very tricky. You don't know what the ball's going to do. You get yourself out of position, and it's very easy to start making big numbers. So I think this week is going to be a lot of managing the tee shots, being in the fairway, and then going from there.
What did you learn from last year's finish that should help you this week?
I think I learned that I can compete with the best. I can manage around any golf course. I have the game to compete in events this big, and I think it was a huge confidence booster for me.
Muchas gracias. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here is that card, Andy. It looked really good on that front side, 4 under, and then all kinds of trouble coming home.
Yeah, he missed a really short putt early in the back 9, but then came back and made that birdie at 12. But that he drove it in the rough the last 4 holes, and that was really the key.
We'll give you a look at some of Patrick's highlights. This for Eagle on the par 5 second.
Yeah, the second hole's really the one par 5 the players can go ahead and be aggressive and try to reach into. The other ones have water around it, but they're longer. The second hole has some water, but it's still doable.
Now the third, he was runner-up last year to Justin Hastings in Argentina.
The third hole is a great little short hole. You have to decide how you want to attack it. You can hit driver down there and have a 50-yard shot, or you can lay it back and have a 9-iron or wedge.
7th hole. This birdie putt gets -3.
This is a really cool short par 3. Saw a ton of birdies there today. One of the easier holes in the golf course.
The 9th.
Let's just start chipping it in.
Yeah.
We see that again.
Geronimo Esteve was in our booth, and before he hit this shot, he said he could make this. And that's exactly what he did. The hardest shot, but still great touch. So 6 from Peru. And Patrick Sparks is leading the way. A man from Colombia who has generated quite a bit of buzz. That is Thomas Restrepo.
The player that's decided to play over by the 10th fairway.
A lot of challenges on this 18th hole for this group. Restrepo was trying to hit a low draw from his second shot, left it out to the right, actually has a nice angle. And that is incredible spin control.
What a great way to finish the day.
Getting in that recognizing game. Huge boost.
That's a nice start. Just played this shot absolutely perfectly. You could hear how crisply he hit it, had some spin on it. Boom. I found.
That's not how you good players do it. Not afraid of speed through the hit.
I think that's a pretty, here's a great look at it. Even in slow motion, you can see he continues through it. You have to put some speed on it. And good players hit these short shots with speed. The average player doesn't hit them with any speed.
I think sometimes, take it from average player, we think speed through the hitting or you're going to skull it. You're going to skull it, blade it.
Let's just trust it and go ahead and accelerate. Now that was a really tough shot from behind the screen. It's downhill, down grain. No way to get it close.
By the way, I liked how Pulcini was applauding Restrepo's shot. What have you heard about Restrepo? Some noise around him after winning the Junior Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great young player. He's going to do well in college, and I think his game is keep developing. He had a beautiful chip there, and like you guys said, when it comes to chipping, you guys be confident and have that same speed to the shot. As soon as you have a little decel, it's can't go places.
Or no place at all.
Yeah, or no place.
In there. Take up more buddies who struggle around the greens.
I think most amateurs think they have to help the ball up in the air. There's plenty of loft. Just go ahead and hit down through it, and the loft will take care of itself. Now this is a long par save.
Amazing the turn of events that can happen. Pulcini was in the fairway, just in the rough actually, was just over the green. Seemed like he was in the best position, and that was gonna, at best, be 2 shots worse than Restrepo, who was out of position and then had that incredible chip in. Vicente Quiroga, one of those rounds where you hit the bad shot at the wrong time, missed it left off the tee. And now this will be a really good save for a double bogey. Was even par until this point. As a young 17-year-old, it's going to be a great opportunity to figure out how you bounce back when you did a lot of good things well today.
It's a great point you made that you're going to hit bad shots, but you have to figure out a way not to hit them at the worst times. You know, there's a lot of times players hit it well offline, but there's in another fairway or in play. You can't do that when there's trouble around.
I'm reading his bio, put together by indispensable research person, Reed Burton, who's been so good. And he writes of Vicente Quiroga, quote here, "What I've learned from my past Latin American amateurs is not to give up, stay calm. When things get difficult, play in a calmer and happier way." And we just saw some evidence there. He hung in and made that putt.
This is an important putt here for bogey.
Okay.
Caught enough of the hole. Thank you. Good day.
Yeah.
1 under to get started.
By the way, the Argentine Golf Association, fans from Argentina, just celebrated their 100th anniversary. Nice get together at the Jockey Club. The Argentine Open is the 7th oldest in the world. Goes back to 1895.
And the Jockey Club is some kind of
That's great. One more time. So maybe this is the shot of the day. I still think the bunker hole out. Is that the, what would you say? What's the shot of the day? I mean, we have to change. They're both great. Let's just go both shots of the day. Holtridge hold the bunker shot, and Restrepo from off the 18th green.
What about the hole-in-one?
The hole-in-one, which
it's hard to hit. That wasn't a 10 or 12 yard chip. That was from 40 yards away. Well done. That was incredible.
Great smile. Oh, was that your dad?
Yeah, that is your dad.
That was father. What was that? You guys are going to be talking about that tonight. I know you.
Most definitely.
The Jarvis boys. It wouldn't be a Latin Am without the Jarvis boys. That dude's dad.
Zach's looking for
I remember one time he got onto the TV at like the Masters coverage because his hat blew off and went onto the green of hole 9. Yeah.
You have the clip still? You got
it's somewhere. We have the clip. I gotta send it in.
There he is. Tell you what.
Well, even Dad was like, that was a good chip.
Give your pop a fist 5. Tell him he made television again. I'm sure you'll have laughs about that. Aaron, thank you. You were so good.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me. Andy, Rich, thank you so much.
Get after it tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Aaron Jarvis, 2022 Latin America Amateur Champ, and in position maybe for a second one. We'll see. And we'll come back with more fun in just a moment. The Latin America Amateur Championship is brought to you by Delta Airlines. Delta, keep climbing. 3M Science, applied to life. PwC, we build for what's next so you can get there now. And in partnership with Rolex. Back as we wrap up round 1 of the Latin America Amateur Championship. That young man you just saw, quite the chip shot, hold out for birdie on the difficult 18th, and now Derbez, Mexico. This is a good round he's putting together.
Absolutely. That was at the 15th hole. Really a nice 425-yard par 4, but he's got 16, 17, and 18 to come, and we've seen all kinds of
Let's go back down to John. Let's go back down to John Sutcliffe.
Mateo, you've played all your rounds, 9 rounds at this tournament, either under par or par. What has been the cue? ¿Cuál ha sido la clave to be able to do it?
Just be patient. I don't know, be patient and trust my game. Like, I know I can shoot on the par if I'm like, I have a little bit of confidence, and some putts drop. Definitely today they did, and yeah, this course you have to drive it well. So that is one of my best parts of my game. So I'm pretty chill and confident.
5 of the 6 Argentinians playing this week are from Cordoba. I know Pato, that's also from Córdoba. How much is it an inspiration that said, hey, he got it done, why can't I get it done?
No, it definitely is. I mean, Pato is different. Like, I wish he did 10% what he hits it. And then, no, but seeing one of us, like one from Córdoba doing it, it definitely inspired us to play good golf and definitely help each other.
Finally, I noticed when we started doing this tournament, maybe some players from Argentina weren't going to study in the U.S., maybe turning pro, and that has changed. How has it helped you overall to, hey, maybe if I can go in college, golf is going to change my life and everything?
Yeah, definitely it changed a lot because you can see all the good players, they like that today they are on the PGA Tour. They all went to college in the U.S., how competitive it is. Like you can see the World Amateur Golf ranking, they are all top 50. Like if you're in the good school, you compete at the highest level every week, and that's something that everyone wants to experience.
Gracias, Mateo. Back to you.
You like the big fella, I know, Andy.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of game.
Yeah, he does.
Some birdies and bogeys in the front nine, but then a really solid back nine with a nice bogey save at 18. Really sort of finishes off the day in a nice way. Could have made double there very easily. So
he got a nice way about him too.
Well, you know, I think it's a great point that the opportunity for golf scholarships for so many of these kids to go to the States, grow up a little bit, be on your own. Obviously, the college part of it. And then, as he was saying, play against the best players. You know, you're going to get better playing against good players.
We go to good places with the Latin America Amateur Championship. That is for sure. Lima, and next year, it's so good at Mayakoba, Playa del Carmen. Mexican Riviera, the 2027 Latin America Amateur Championship. That announcement earlier today, El Camaleon, which has hosted the top professionals. Now, the best amateurs in the region will get a crack at it. This will be the second time. You see the dignitaries on the left. This Eislinger from Augusta National, the dignitaries from the Mexican Golf Federation, Chairman Ridley. You see Fred Perpall of the USGA on the far right. Let's go back down to John once more.
With Tomás Restrepo, tell us through your shot on the 18th.
Yeah, for sure it was impressive. Something that you never imagined coming up to the 18th tee. I hit I could say a bad tee shot. I got it in a bad lie. I tried to hit it to get it closer to the green. I got a good break. Very lucky to I had a perfect drive, a perfect lie, and I'm very happy that I made that chip hit.
10 years ago, I was standing here interviewing Nico Echeverria and Teeth of the Dog. And you remind me a lot of Nico Echeverria. The example of what Nico was able to accomplish through the lack of what he's doing now on the PGA Tour. ¿Es el ejemplo? Is that what you follow?
Yeah, for sure. I've said it in a lot of interviews. I think it's an idol for a lot of Colombians, but also for me. I think not only how he plays golf, but how he is like a person. I love his personality. I love how he manages his social life, and something that I admire a lot and inspire.
You guys have a lot of rich history in Colombian golf. Ya toca, no? It's about time?
Hopefully. I mean, it's a long race, four rounds. There's still a lot of golf left, but yeah, I think that all Colombians are happy to be competing out this week, and we have a main goal. So.
Gracias. Good luck the next 3 days.
Thank you.
Impressive young guy. Yeah, it's just 17 years of age. You think about Colombia professionally, have done well. He mentioned Nico Echeverria. Played well in this championship, twice a winner on the PGA Tour. And then Camilo Villegas as well. But it is about creating those role models, those heroes. That's the mission of this championship, and we're seeing the fruits of it, Andy. Great day one here in Peru.
Oh, fantastic. The golf course really showed itself well. We had some low scores early, but the afternoon it was much more difficult. This is really going to be a great test. We're going to see some good golf. We're going to see some great bogey opportunities, particularly coming down the stretch on Sunday afternoon. Those last 3 or 4 holes are going to be really tough.
And round 2, we'll get a chance to see 2 of the pre-championship favorites in Safa and Gabriel Palacios of Guatemala, both off to solid starts. There you can see on page 1, Jose Antonio Safa from Mexico is right there. Great thanks to our crew, Sellers Shy and Mike Crow, leading all of the hardworking women and men in the truck and on the ground. For Andy North, Steve Burkowski, Emilia Duran, John Sutcliffe, and our special guest booth today, Geronimo Esteve and Aaron Jarvis, who were so good. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Lima, Peru, and the Latin America Amateur Championship.